celebrating 100 years of Missouri football. The Mizzou Sports Network proudly presents Texas Christian University versus the University of Missouri. Today's game is sponsored by the Missouri Lottery. When you play, your money works for all of Missouri. By Busch Beer, head for the mountains of Busch. By Today's Truck, Chevrolet. Nobody's winning like the heartbeat of America. And by Shelter Insurance. Service is our policy.
Live from Faurot Field in Columbia, Missouri, it's Missouri Tiger football. Today, the Tigers take on the Texas Christian University Horned Frogs. Good afternoon again, everybody. I'm Mike Bush, and welcome to the 100th season of Missouri Tiger football. My broadcast partner today, well, he'll bring back a lot of memories. Let's take a look. He was an all-Big 8 player his junior year. He was a consensus All-American his senior year, and then he was a perennial All-Pro with the San Diego Chargers. Take a look at Kellen Winslow then and Kellen Winslow now. Kellen, welcome back to Columbia. This has got to be a big thrill for you.
It is a big thrill for me, Mike. It's a pleasure to work with you, and it's a pleasure to be back here in Columbia, Missouri for such a great game.
Well, we should see a lot of offense today, something you know a little bit about.
Well, we know a little bit about the Missouri offense. We know a little bit about the TCU offense. We're going to see the ball in the air an awful lot today.
All right, now you've got the TCU Horned Frogs who put the ball up 55 times last week. However, they only scored 3 points. However, Coach Jim Wacker of TCU says there were some good things about that game.
Well, we played defense good last week. That's encouraging. We really had a good defensive game, I think, against Washington State. Now, if we can just get it together on offense, and if our kicking game will come around, our punter averaged 28 yards, boy, you do that, you're in trouble, and that's why we were in trouble. Field position was a disaster last week.
TCU lost 21-3 to Washington State. Last week, they started a sophomore quarterback by the name of Leon Clay. Today, they're going to start Matt Vogler, who's more of a drop-back passer.
Mike, Matt Vogler is a transfer from Auburn University, a pure drop-back passer. He's going to get his shot today. We're going to see a lot of points on the board.
For the University of Missouri, they play a pro-set offense. They like to pass the ball 50% of the time, run the ball 50% of the time, all things being equal.
All things being equal, Missouri has a great set of receivers. They have a good quarterback. They have a great tight end, a decent offensive line. They're going to score.
Now, of course, their quarterback is Kent Kiefer, who passed for over 2,300 yards last year. Bob Stull is the head coach, and he knows this is a big game because a lot of the former Missouri coaches are in town, and they'll be watching.
Yeah, we got the whole crew here. Not only do we have great coaches, but great players. We had Kellen Winslow down the field talking to our players before practice today, and Dan Devine's in town, Frank Broyles, Al Onofrio, Warren Powers. We've got the full gamut of ex-coaches, including Coach Faurot, who has never left.
You getting any advice from anybody?
Well, Coach Faurot, he comes to work every day. He's got a few words of wisdom most every day. Like his wife said, Don's never stopped, coaching, just people stop listening to him. So.
Well, they were listening to Kellen Winslow yesterday, sort of an impromptu, inspirational speech for the guys.
I never will forgive Coach Stahl for doing that to me, but I simply reiterated to the team what Coach Stahl had been talking about all week, and that was a sense of tradition and pride that goes along with being a Missouri Tiger, and they seem to believe that.
The Missouri Tigers going for their 5th straight season-opening victory, and we'll be back with more right after this. Art Holliday and Brian Nooner. Art.
Thank you very much, Mike. And Brian, I guess the concern right now is the weather. It's 82 degrees, no complaints there. But off and on the last couple of hours, we've been getting a light drizzle. It's raining right now, so it remains to be seen whether Mother Nature is going to cooperate. But no matter what the weather conditions, we know one thing about this game. There's going to be a lot of passing.
Yeah, that's right. We've got 2 pro-style offense. TCU features a triple shoot offense. As Mike and Kellen have alluded to, Missouri also comes with a pro set. Something we might add that Missouri has a preseason All-American candidate at the tight end position, Tim Bruton. Tim's academic status was in question a few weeks ago. He has since been cleared. He will play, but he will not start. Senior Larry Linthicum will be at the tight end position starting the game for Missouri.
Well, the TCU Horned Frogs are coming off an offensive performance in their season opener, which was very distressing to head coach Jim Wacker. It produced the quote of the week. Wacker, referring to his triple shoot offense, called it the run and shoot yourself in the foot offense. Tongue-in-cheek, to say the least, but I think it reflects the type of frustration that he suffered after that game.
He has another frustration. He's also missing his big running back in Tony Darthard.
Well, that's correct. Tony Darthard unexpectedly announced that he wasn't going to play anymore this season. He's been troubled by a knee, but they thought it was recovered. But apparently Darthard doesn't think it's recovered, and he has announced his retirement from college football. So that's another distressing development for TCU.
On Missouri side of the ball, they have an injury report in the defensive secondary. 2 weeks ago, Brad Scrivener, the starting strong safety, broke his arm. He's out. In his place will be a redshirt freshman, Mike Jadlow, 6'4" kid with good speed. Also look for Nu Sali. He's a junior college transfer here at Missouri. He was the junior college player of the decade in the Southern California area. He's exciting. He can make a big play. He will also be returning punt. He's number 9.
And as Mizzou Tiger fans know, this is the 100th year of Missouri Tiger football. Technically, though, it is actually the 101st year. In 1918, the entire season wiped out by a flu epidemic. But we've got a clean bill of health today if the rain will hold off. Let's go back up to Mike Bush and Kellen Winslow. Take it away, guys.
Art and Brian, thank you very much. TCU won the toss. However, they deferred the choice to the second half, so Missouri will receive. TCU against Missouri. The Tigers have an overall record of 62, 33-4, and they're going to go for their 5th straight opening victory. That's pretty good. Last year, of course, TCU and Missouri played here in Columbia. It was Bob Stoll's first win as a head coach for Missouri.
It sure was, Mike, and this is a great game. I was here for that game for another reason, but I got a chance to see it. It was exciting. It was a great way for Bob Stoll to start his tenure as a Missouri head coach.
TCU will be going from our left to our right. They are dressed in white with the purple helmets. Missouri, of course, in black and gold. Jason Oliver and Skip Leach are back to return kick. Today's opening kickoff is brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. And we're set to go. And we're underway here in Columbia, the 100th season of Missouri football. That's Jason Oliver. Taking it up the middle, past the 25, he fumbles the ball. There is a scramble for the ball on the field. We're waiting for the referee's signal. And Missouri has recovered the ball. Well, an inauspicious way to begin the 1990 season for Missouri.
I'm sure Coach Stahl right now has a lump in his throat right now trying to decide on exactly what happened there. There's a great hole. He hit the hole real hard. He's trying to cut back. But the tackler comes in from around and knocks the ball loose. Just great form tackling. That's how they teach it. Knock the ball from under his arm. And Missouri was lucky to get that ball back.
Missouri will work out of the pro set offense. Once they establish their running game and once they establish their passing game early, you'll see a lot of play action. They give to Michael Jones, the fullback. He goes across the 30 to the 32-yard line. He's hit by Jason Cauble, number 41. Here's the offensive lineup for Missouri. Trumbull, Leisman, Funk, Wright, McCullough, and Linthicum up front. Moore, Jones, Collins, and Mays are your backs and your wide receivers. And the quarterback, of course, is Kent Keeper. Keeper to throw the ball. Looks for Lindsey Collins, broken up by Cauble. So Cauble quickly in. 2 plays for TCU. Last week, Cauble, 13 tackles, 2 quarterback sacks. He's 6 feet, 205 pounds, out of Brownwood, Texas. He's a senior.
Mikey did a great job of reading that play. He broke on the ball, the quarterback set. Apparently there was a tendency there, and he picked it up real quick.
Sort of a role reversal last week for TCU. They expected a lot of offense, didn't get much, but they played very well on defense against Washington State. Again, Keeper to throw. Looks over the middle. He's got Linthicum near midfield and a first down. That's the tight end, number 86, Larry Linthicum, on a nice pass from Keeper. We'll see it again, Kellen.
Right, Mike. One thing the quarterback should always do, whenever in trouble, look for the tight end. That was my motto when I played here and, of course, in the NFL. Look for the tight end, get things started. He's a big target right there in the seam. Nice gain there. Great way to start.
14:03 to go. First quarter. First down for Missouri. Linthicum in motion. And Kiefer. The give to Jones. He heads across midfield, tries to turn it. And the Tigers are in TCU territory.
Mike, a great play that same play they ran earlier, just running the tight end in motion coming across there. But Jones was able to outrun the tackler and gain something out of that, which looked like a loss from the beginning.
So it'll be second down and 5 for Missouri. So they're mixing it up. What they like to do, as I mentioned earlier, is they like to throw 50% of the time and pass 50% of the time if they're not in trouble. Otherwise, they're going to have to put it up in the air more often.
Yeah, they're going to come out and they're going to mix it up early. It's a good hole off tackle there. They say for some reason they like to run to the left side.
That's
I
Sean
can't imagine
Moore.
why.
Yeah. That's Sean Moore. He gets to the 42-yard line, maybe the 41. There's a look at the defensive line for the Horned Frogs. Bolden, Prather, Walton, and Collins. Collins is a good one. He's all conference. Cobble, Smith, and Booker, the linebackers. And Brown, Hickman, Rand, and Crump, the inexperienced secondary for the Horned Frogs.
You're going to hear that name, Roosevelt Collins, a lot today. He is their potential All-American candidate.
First and 10 for Missouri. Kiefer again to Jones. Goes to the right side this time. Good spin move. And he's inside the 40-yard line. Tony Rand plugged him up. Michael Jones. Last year was a tailback. This year he has moved to fullback. Not a slashing type runner, but he can run over people.
He's a big back. He's out of Kansas City at 6'2", 214. As you said, not a lot of wiggle to him, as I was talking to Coach Stahl yesterday, but he does like to punish the tackler. And after 4 quarters, that can take a toll on the tackler.
Kiefer to put it up. He was looking for Jones, and he overthrows his receiver. Jones was sort of tied up near the line of scrimmage. Kiefer last year sacked 35 times. This year he's hoping for more protection from his offensive line, a little bit more experienced. Trumbull, Leisman, Funk, Wright, and McCullough. There's a look at some of the numbers that Ken Kiefer racked up last year against TCU. 18 of 28. Over 200 yards passing.
Very respectable from college football, especially for opening game. Young quarterback, 226 yards last year. Hopefully he can draw on that experience this year.
Yeah, young quarterback in a new system. He's got a year of Bob Stoll's system under his belt. He's being chased out of the pocket. He'll cross the 40, try to get to the 35-yard line, and he's knocked out of bounds.
That's one thing a young quarterback needs to learn is when to get out of bounds. You can only get so many yards. Step out of bounds. Don't take the punishment. Keep yourself in the game and stay healthy.
He was being chased by Prather and Roosevelt Collins when he was knocked out. And so Missouri will have to punt the ball away. 4th and 5. Mark Plunkett to do the punting. He's a junior. And try to keep this one from going to the end zone, but there it goes. And so Missouri is plugged up near midfield, and TCU will work the offense for the first time today. We've got no score here in Columbia. The Missouri Tigers and the Texas Christian University Horned Frogs. Now, what you'll see on offense for TCU, Kellen, is what they call the triple shoot. Oftentimes, they won't even have a back. Curtis Montkins is back there right now.
They're going to spread you out. They're going to use the entire field and force you to play as much defense as you can with all that yardage. Delayed on the play for some reason, maybe a flag down. Yes, it is.
Yeah, flag on that play before it even got started. Matt, go ahead.
Not a very good start for TCU. It's just timing right now. It's the jitters. They're trying to get over those things right now, especially being on the road. If they were at home, it might not be as bad.
Illegal procedure on the offense for TCU. Their theme this year is Mission Possible. In other words, should they choose to accept the task, and I guess they really have to, they feel this could be a much better year this year. What they don't want to do is self-destruct, which is what they did last week, throwing the ball 55 times and only scoring 3 points against Washington State. Again, the give to Montkins. He'll go to the far side, and he is bunched up. Virtually no gain for Montkins. Maurice Benson was the first guy there for the Tigers.
The Tigers did a good job in stringing that out. As you saw, TCU spread them out across the field, then tried to hit a gap there. and they just really did a good job in closing that up.
There's a look at the guys on the offensive line for the Horned Frogs. Morse, Sullivan, Breedlove, Elliott, Alexander, and a fine tight end by the name of Kelly Blackwell. Modkins, Jackson, Shipley, and McPherson. Your running backs and your wide receivers. Vogler to put it up. It's complete. And they're outside the 20-yard line. Kelly Blackwell, the tight end, on the reception. Maurice Benson tied him up. A gain of about 2 yards. And so it'll be 3rd and 12. Here's a look at the Missouri defensive line. Lyle, Mario Johnson, who's a good one, Tim Burke, and Rob Harper. Harper's a senior, Burke a sophomore, Mario Johnson a junior, and Rick Lyle is a freshman redshirt. Riggenberg, Reiner, and Fletcher. Mizzou now in the 4-3 defense this year to take advantage of some of their better players on the defensive line. Modkins escapes one tackle, then a couple more, gets to about the 30-yard line, and nearly a first down.
He's awful close. He did that pretty much on his own. Missouri read the play. Surprisingly, on 3rd down and 6, TCU comes out on a sort of semi-draw play, and they picked up the first down.
So the first down of the game for the Horned Frogs. So far, this passing game is non-existent. They're running the ball, Kellen.
Well, the coaches are kind of afraid of too many early season jitters, and they're trying to calm them down first of all, get some contact, get a sweat going, and then go back to what they know best.
10:47 to play, first quarter. Modkins again. He'll get about 3 yards on that gain. Harry Colin in on the play. He's the defensive leader. A 6-foot, 204-pound senior out of Kansas City, Kansas, number 21. Very aggressive player, number 21. You'll see him involved in a lot of plays today, Harry Colin.
Well, once again, Missouri's playing that 4-3 front, and they got the back hits to the outside like he might have something there, but then the defense back comes in and closes real quick. Not a bad block there by the wide receiver from TCU.
Again, one back offense, and again, it is Modkins. He's coming this way, gets to nearly the 40-yard line, and gain tackled by Missouri. He's close to a first down again. He may be just a bit short. It'll be 3rd and 1 for TCU.
Like, I think Coach Wacker right now is trying to spread the Missouri defense out and get them thinking run with that one back in the backfield, and then get the quarterback set up back there, and we're going to see some of that triple threat offense we've been talking about.
2 wide receivers on the far side. They'll go for the quarterback sneak, which was a big play for them last week against Washington State, and it looks like they have picked up the first down. The second first down for TCU. We'll check and see. Yes, it is. A first down for the Horned Frogs as they get to the 40-yard line. No score. We're in the first half, first quarter. Here are the officials for today's game. J.C. Louderback is your referee. Again, 3 wide receivers. And again, it goes to Modkins on the ground. He is tied up big time.
Tigers did a great job of coming in support of that. TCU's running an off-tackle play to the short side of the field. Very strange for that type of offense, but I guess they were trying to catch the Tigers off guard by doing that. But the Tigers are not fooled. You see a decent block by the tight end, but the defensive end strings it out and gets it on the play real quick. And then, of course, the safety comes up and puts a good hit on the back.
Rick Lyle and Harry Colin in on that play. Modkins, only a sophomore, had 73 yards rushing a week ago against Washington State. Vogler this time to put it in the air, looking for someone, and he is sacked. George Hunt takes down Matt Vogler, a big loss.
One of the problems with the triple threat offense, if you don't get the ball off and the first time the quarterback's set, he's going to get pressured. Offensive line is not designed to keep the defensive people out for any amount of time up to 5 seconds. 3.5 seconds is what the quarterback is looking for. But in the run and shoot type offense, it's just a little bit quicker.
George Hunt is the most improved player on this Missouri Tiger defense. That's what the coaches say. 6'3", 261-pound freshman redshirt, number 72. Look for him today. 3rd and 18. Vogler. Little screen to Modkins, runs into his own man, and he's down at about the 37-yard line.
That's one play Missouri's going to have to watch out for defensively, is that screen play, because they spread the people out so far across the field. They can hit Modkins with that a few times. He's going to get an open field. That time he got knocked down by his own man.
So a good job by the Missouri defense. And TCU will have to punt away. Kevin Cortisman, who averaged only 28 yards a punt last week. It was a big problem for TCU. And this is Nu Sali. You'll watch him today. He is a very aggressive return man, and he gets to about the 40-yard line, or rather the 35-yard line, maybe the 34. We've got no score here in Columbia. The Missouri Tigers and the TCU Horned Frogs, and we've got more football coming up by number 9, Larry Brown. Good defensive effort on the part of the TCU cornerback.
Mike Kiefer took just a little bit too long to release that pass. He looked at the receiver the entire way, or looked to that side where the receiver was the entire way. It was easy for the defensive back to break on that play. He had plenty of time. Maybe he should have pulled it down and ran it.
Did you see the black socks that Kiefer is wearing? Doesn't that make you look slower?
It makes you look slower. Maybe he's trying to prepare for future films when other teams see him, but it could be a rebel without a cause, maybe an Elvis Presley move.
They give to Jones, the fullback. He gets about a yard, maybe two, crosses the 35-yard line, and the Tigers will have to work a third down.
I'm sure Coach Stahl right now doesn't want to be in this situation a lot early in the game, especially third down and long to go. Forces him to put the ball up in the air, and TCU's going to be sitting back waiting for that ball.
Number 66, Bob Petrus, is in at left guard. Miles Leisman, who started the game, back on the sidelines. Passing down for Missouri. Skip Leach to the right. Lindsey Collins to the left. Keeper looking for Collins. He's got him. And they cross midfield. Fumble.
He was down.
But he was down.
He was down. The ground caused the ball to come up, and that when it happens, the ground causes the fumble. The officials usually call it dead. Not all the time, but most of the time.
Anthony Hickman stopped the play for TCU, but they're inside the 45-yard line.
Mike Lindsey Collins comes out, he pushes upfield, he gets past the defensive back who's playing in his zone coverage, trailing the man. He has help deep, and he puts a little outside move to give indication he's going to the corner, then comes back, and Kiefer once again watched him the entire way. That's something he's going to have to be careful of as the safety's starting to key in on him.
A 22-yard gain for Missouri. Once again, they're across midfield. And Kiefer to throw again. He's looking long for his roommate, Damon Mays, and it's nearly picked off by Tony Rand.
Just a little bit too much air up under that pass, and maybe just let go a little bit too late. Once again, a timing type thing that will get better as the game goes on.
Mays and Kiefer, both from the Phoenix, Arizona area, and they are roommates.
The keeper drops back. He gives a little semi-fake pass to Jones there, and he looks deep, and he just really lofts it up there too much. Gives the defensive back a chance to run up under and almost make the interception. A little more of an arc, a little bit more of a ump up on the ball, and that would have been 6 points.
One more biscuit for breakfast, perhaps. Michael Jones, he's tackled at about the 40-yard line. 5:57 to go. First quarter, no score. Missouri and TCU. And that'll bring up third down for the Tigers.
Once again, another third and long situation. Coach Stahl does not want this.
One thing we talked about before the game, the 50% run, 50% passing, but they're going to have to pass the ball a lot more if they keep getting in these third down situations.
They've got to average about 4.5 to 5 yards on first down in order to scare these situations. Right now, we have a no backfield set. Tigers look a little bit confused.
Moore and Jones are your backs. That's Skip Leach. Tries to get the first down. I don't think he got it, Kellen.
No, he was short. He will be short. Interesting call right here early in the game to see if Coach Stahl goes for it. I say go for it.
He was tied up by Larry Brown and Lavoie Crump. Let's see it again, Kellen.
Skip Leach, 5'9", 169 junior, pushes upfield and makes the ultimate mistake of a receiver. He doesn't get enough yardage for the first down after the catch. When he catches the ball, he should have a first down already. I'm sure that's something that the receiver coach will go over with him when he gets to the sideline.
Well, he's showing a lot of confidence in his defense because Coach Bob Stoll is going for it.
Fans love to see stuff like this. They love to see it.
Mario Johnson.
Mario.
The big defensive tackle out of Hazelwood Central in St. Louis, who played tailback and defensive line in high school. Sort of like the refrigerator. Watch him come through here.
Shay's a Super Bowl year for the Chicago Bears. Big Mario hits the hole. The defensive back grabs him, but Mario flops him up like he was a fly and keeps going for the first down.
And as Mario Johnson came off the field, Kellen, Bob Stull gave him a high five.
Yeah, to plays like that, Mike, will bring Missouri fans back. They want to see that type of excitement. They want to see a coach who has the guts to do that consistently.
Jones gets to the 25-yard line, and it'll be 2nd and 5 for Mizzou.
It's one thing that Missouri left off last year and really fell off in is getting down to this area we call the red area, inside the 25-yard line, inside the 20-yard line, and getting points out of it. At least 3, hopefully 7 points from this. They have to get better at that.
Skip Leach, split to the right. Lindsey Collins, split this way. Tailback Sean Moore, and he's tripped up at the line of scrimmage. He might have gained 1 yard.
We saw the first play of the game. Yeah, they're packing it in now. We were afraid at the beginning of the game we weren't going to have many people here, but they've come from somewhere. We've got a very decent crowd for opening day here in Columbia.
They were late in arriving. Remember, this game was moved up. Originally, it was a 1:30 kickoff, moved up to 12:10, and we're 3:23 to go in the first quarter. No score. Missouri on the move, 3rd and 4. Missouri 2 out of 4, 3rd down so far. Kiefer
got a blitz. They got a blitz.
He saw the blitz, and then he sort of tripped over his own 2 feet. Jason Cauble in on the tackle along with Brad Smith.
You can best believe that the TCU coaches saw something in the Missouri blocking scheme and decided this is the 3rd time they've gone to this blitz in Missouri. This is the first time they failed to pick it up.
And so the Tigers will try their first field goal of the season. Jeff Jackie comes in. He had a knee injury last year. 6 feet, 189-pound sophomore. The holder is New Salih, number 9. Now, be careful, Salih. Sometimes he'll pick up the ball and run with it. And that kick is no good. So the first scoring chance for Missouri, and they didn't make it. And so we are still scoreless here in Columbia. This is the Mizzou Sports Network.
There's much more than football on their minds today, though. Mark's brother, Terry, a former Mizzou student, is Marine stationed in Saudi Arabia. So, of course, the Plunkett family, like many Americans, have their thoughts and good wishes with our armed forces over in Saudi Arabia. Back to you, Mike.
Curtis Montkins for TCU on 1st down, and he is tied up, nearly escapes, but he is going nowhere. Rob Harper making the tackle, number 99. He's the senior and the leader of the defensive corps. Rob Harper, a good pass rusher, 6'7", 271-pound senior, number 99.
Did a great job of stringing that out and throwing the back for a 9-yard loss.
It'll be 2nd and 14 now. Vogler to put it up. Looks for his tight end, Kelly Blackwell, with a nice catch.
Somebody blew the defensive coverage there. The receiver came off untouched, unscathed, and the quarterback picked it up real quick and dropped it off to him.
Leon Fisher stopped him, Kellen.
Yeah, somebody's not in position right there. That's a pan play to see if the defensive lineman, the linebacker's up in the line of scrimmage. He rushed, and the quarterback, instead of faking the ball as he was supposed to, an automatic drop off to the tight end.
3rd and 3, and Leon Clay, the sophomore quarterback, comes in for TCU on the short yardage situation.
Because the option, there it is.
Clay can run the option. He likes to do it himself. He gets past the 1st down marker, and he's taken out of bounds. And that is a 1st down for TCU. Harry Colin hit him.
Once again, the option into the short side of the field. Most coaches don't like to run that, but they run it every now and then just to keep the defense honest.
Matt Vogler now comes back in. Vogler is more of a pure drop-back passer, and Clay is a better runner. So they'll be switching those 2 guys quite a bit this afternoon. Once again, the triple shoot set. 1 back offense for TCU. Less than a minute to go, first quarter. The give to Montkins. He gets around the left side. He breaks a couple of tackles and gets inside Missouri territory to about the 42-yard line before Tom Reiner and Mike Jadlow tie him up.
This time the tight end did a good job in tying up the Missouri defensive end, allowing the back to get to the outside and get that gain. When that happens, the defensive man, the secondary, has to come up and give support. Right here you see almost a little clip in the back of the leg. Of course, he gets outside and good running in open field, covers himself up and gets the 1st down.
13-yard run for Montkins. 1st and 10 for TCU in Tiger territory. And they work a quick play. And again, the Tigers cover up on defense. That was Cedric Jackson, number 25 for TCU. Jackson is a pretty good slot back. A couple of years ago, he rushed for over 500 yards, but mostly he does receiving now in this TCU triple shoot offense.
Once again, Missouri leaving the man uncovered.
Same play.
Same play, and TCU is going to take advantage of that. They're going to have to bring the defensive back up and force them to play in man-to-man straight up.
Mike Riggenberg, the linebacker, tried to cover up on that play, and there may be an injury on the field. Looks like number 43, Tom Reiner, is down. He's the middle linebacker. Still have no score, but TCU is driving. We'll be back with more right after this. Tom Reiner is the injured player for Mizzou. He is a linebacker, and here's the play.
He just gets his ankle twisted up in there. There's the hit. See what happens there.
You can see him on the far left side of your screen going down, number 43.
Like he might have taken a shot to the head when the other Missouri player came in and took a shot and hit Reiner instead of the running back.
A little quarterback sneak for TCU. Matt Vogler, number 14, looks like he is very close to the first down, and it is a first down. At least that's what TCU thinks. As we begin the second quarter of action, we expected an offensive show, and so far no score. The defense has been pretty strong for both teams. It will be fourth down now for TCU, and they've got a decision to make.
It looks like they're going for it.
Leon Clay, the sophomore quarterback, comes in. He's the quarterback who runs the option. Fourth and very short yardage for TCU. Missouri had this play in the first quarter, and they went with the big guy, Mario Johnson, and they got the first down. Now TCU will try it. Clay has the first down and more. He gets to the 30-yard line of Missouri, hit by Mike Jadlow, the freshman redshirt.
He almost fumbled the ball there, Mike. He had the ball in that little cradle position, getting ready to pitch it when the defensive back came over and made the tackle and almost knocked it loose.
So Clay does his job. Vogler comes back into the game, and it's first down and 10 for the Texas Christian Horned Frogs, a gain of 4 for Leon Clay. 14:40 to play in the first half. You can see it's pretty close. Total yards, rushing, all the way around. Vogler to Modkins. Tries to get to the outside, now makes his cut. He's been pursued by Mario Johnson, and Mario came up with a tackle.
Mike, I just hope the fans appreciate just what a great play that was by Mario Johnson. Here's a guy swinging with 300 pounds who caught a very fast scat back from behind going down the line of scrimmage. You don't see that very often in a guy that size.
For Tom Reiner, the injury is a left ankle, and he is on the sidelines. Second and 6 for TCU. They give to Modkins again, and he gets to about the 21-yard line of Missouri.
Once again, a draw play. They caught Missouri spread out in that triple threat offense they have, and it looked like a drawback pass by Vogler and just dropped it off to the running back close to the first down. Just watch out for that quarterback sneak again.
3rd and 1 now. Leon Clay back into the game. There's Modkins.
Nice wiggle to him. He has a nice stride about him, a little wiggle, and he can hit the hole, and he likes to drop his head and get in there. That's a sign of a good running back.
He was hit by Mike Riggenberg, number 47.
There it is again.
The quarterback sneak this time, and it's a first down for TCU, and they're moving the ball. This is not what we expected to see out of Texas Christian. They're keeping the ball on the ground an awful lot. Riggenberg hit him again. But the Horned Frogs are advancing via the run.
They're trying to move the ball down. Leon Clay came in for the quarterback sneak. I guess Missouri was thinking option when he came into the game. But they're leaving the center uncovered in that 4-down front. And they're just taking advantage of that with everybody spread out just a little bit wider than they normally would be.
And again, it's Modkins. Riggenberg on the tackle, and he's thrown for a loss. Well, that time, Riggenberg said enough of this running stuff. If you're going to exploit anybody, put it up in the air.
He did a good job in reading the plays. You can tell him, there he is right there. He's going to attack. Come into your screen right about here. He read the play pretty much when the ball was snapped that they were going to go that way. It's just a tendency that TCU is showing. They're going to have to get out of it real quick. Here's that set with no one in the backfield right now.
A no back set for TCU. Vogler drops back to put it up.
Long coverage.
The running back. That's Montkins. Only a gain of about 2 or 3, and there's a flag on the field. Gerald Fletcher, Scooter Fletcher, made the tackle, along with Sharon Washington.
Seemed like Missouri had a blown coverage there. The running back was wide open.
No score here in the second quarter in Columbia. 12:24 to play. Missouri and TCU, the season opener for the Missouri Tigers. This is the second game for the Horned Frogs. They're 0-1, coming off a loss to Washington State last week. The penalty is on Missouri. Well, that was an interesting play. They went to the air that time, Kellen, but that time they threw it to the running back.
They threw it to the running back. What they did was they snuck an extra receiver out there, and it seems like the Missouri secondary did not adjust to it, because as the two receivers ran downfield, the running back just simply went up 3 or 4 yards and stopped and turned around, and no one even came out close to covering him. I may fault Vogler on that for not getting the ball to him sooner. It would have been a bigger gain.
Montkins already 34 yards rushing. It's defensive holding on Missouri, and that takes it to the 11-yard line of the Tigers.
Once again, a sign of a young defense. This will kill Missouri Tigers if this continues throughout this game and throughout the season. These type of mistakes in this type of situation.
Defensive holding, automatic first down for TCU. One back offense. Vogler again to the run. Montkins breaks one tackle, and then he's hit by Gerald Fletcher, and he's dropped for a loss.
A draw play to Missouri Tigers played very well. It's a young defensive unit out there. Here's a semi-draw, drop-back draw, we call those, and he hits the line of scrimmage. A lot of penetration there by the Missouri Tigers, which is a good way to stop any type of run. Get penetration, change the line of scrimmage, move it back 2 or 3 yards.
The birthday boy, Gerald Fletcher, who is 23 years old today, he made that tackle. A loss of 3. Now Vogler to put it up. He's got his tight end Blackwell. Blackwell hit by Jadlow. Gets away from one. Now Game tackled. And he stopped inside the 10-yard line. Maurice Benson was the man who stopped him.
Always throw to the tight end. Always throw to the tight end. I mean, if you're a young quarterback out there, look for that tight end first. He's the closest guy to you.
Kelly Blackwell is a good one, too. Number 86. A preseason all-conference choice.
Simple rollout play here, semi-rollout. If he did not have the receiver open to the short tight end, he was going to come out further and look for the defense, look for the receiver even deeper, but he got the tight end real quick. Vogler to the air. Incomplete. Intended receiver was Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, the intended receiver, and he wears 2 gloves. I don't know what it is about these receivers. You know, when the glove thing first started, when there was inclement weather, it was too cold or it was too wet or whatever. Then it got out of hand. It became a fashion statement. I think more receivers drop balls because of the gloves and catch balls because of the gloves. 4th and 8. Field goal try. The barefooted kicker, Jeff Wilkinson, missed wide to the left side. And so we are still scoreless in Columbia. 2 missed field goal tries. We'll be back with more on the Mizzou Sports Network. 2 national championships, and there's Kent Keefer. Herbert. Give to Cahill. Herbert. So that's Cahill with no gain. Good pressure there by TCU. Herbert, huh? Had a lot of fights as a child, I'm sure. His best year at TCU was 1984. The Frogs were 8-4 and in the Blue Bonnet Bowl. But it's been slim pickings ever since. Kiefer's 3 for 7 for 46 yards versus his counterpart Vogel, who's 6 for 7 for 34 yards. A lot more completion. That last third down that he didn't complete was his first incompletion for the day. No score. The Missouri Tigers trying to move the football. A loss of 4 on that play, and so it'll be 2nd down and 14 for the Tigers. 2 scoring chances so far. Both field goal tries, and both kickers, Jackie and Wilkinson, miss. So we're still scoreless. Missouri sends 3 wideouts. Michael Jones, the fullback, in the backfield. 2nd and 14. Keeper gets it to his roommate, Damon Mays. And he is tackled by Larry Brown at about the 20-yard line. His forward progression stopped at about the 21. Mike, that was an interesting defensive set by TCU. They had the right tackle and the right tight end uncovered, and the the inside guard, defensive guard was all the way over the center. Missouri might want to take a look at that and maybe exploit that next time they see it.
A year ago, Missouri beat TCU 14-10. Kent Keefer, 18 of 28 passing. It's 3rd and 8 now for Missouri. Keefer to put the ball up. He's got Tim Bruton, first catch of the game, and he's got a first down for Missouri.
Tight end. Always look for that tight end. He's the closest guy to the quarterback as an eligible receiver, and Big Bruton just got in the zone there, and Keefer was able to get it to him.
Bruton, the preseason All-American pick. His academic status was questionable, but they worked that all out, and he's playing. Makes his first reception of the year, and it's a first down.
Here's a guy 6'5", 256, trying to be brought down by a low defensive back.
The pitch goes to Cahill, and he's going absolutely nowhere. A loss of about 1 or 2. 9:15 to go. First half. We've got no score here in Columbia. Kenneth Walton made the tackle along with Larry Brown. And so far, a defensive show. 2 defenses with a lot of question marks coming into this season, and 2 defenses holding strong.
Mike, that last play was something that Coach Stahl just wanted to show TCU that he has in his books. Kiefer faked the bootleg after giving the ball to the running back. You're going to see that play come back again. That play was to set up something later in the game.
Mays and Leach split to the far side. Lindsey Collins this way. The pass is to Lindsey Collins. He is wide open to the 40. He could go all the way. Touchdown, Tigers. A 68-yard touchdown pass from Kent Keefer to Lindsey Collins, and what a beautiful pass it was, Kellen.
It was a lot better than the earlier bomb he had thrown. He got the ball up. It had just enough loft on it, not too much. And Lindsey Collins, what a great name. He's going to be a great name for broadcasters to say many, many times over this year. Just outran the defensive back. A time pass play that you work over and over in practice, and it works here today.
46 catches a year ago, 803 yards last year. New Salih is holding. It gets away. Now Salih can throw the ball. He can run the ball. And he's in trouble, and he's going nowhere. So the extra point fails for Missouri. But the Tigers are on the board first here in Columbia. As the Tigers have taken the lead 6-0. Keeper going to Lindsey Collins.
3-step drop, get the ball up quick. See the angle on that ball, Mike, compared to the last one. It did not drift, it did not float. Lindsey Collins out there man-to-man.
And the coach very happy about that. The kickoff goes to Anthony Hickman. Gets to the 15-yard line, and he is tied up by a psyched Missouri special teams squad. The extra point failed, but Missouri on the scoreboard first here in Columbia. They lead TCU 6-0 with 8:26 to go in the first half. When the television production crew is in town, they stay at the Holiday. Horned Frogs will go to the air just a little bit more often. They play the triple shoot offense, but so far they've been sticking to the ground, and Curtis Motkins, a broken play there, flags on the field. We've been waiting for a passing game all afternoon. And once they got Lindsey Collins one-on-one with Larry Brown, Kent Keefer made a perfect pass to him, and Missouri is on the board.
Red ball.
We can best believe they can get Larry Brown some help over there from now on. It looked like a man-to-man coverage, but then again, it could have been a hidden zone with a defensive back blowing the coverage. But Larry Brown takes the blame.
5 plays, 80 yards, a 68-yard touchdown reception for Lindsey Collins.
You got to have about 2 or 3 big plays per game in order to win. Coach Stahl is hoping to see a lot more of those this year.
It was a false start on TCU. They'll work it 1st and 10 now. Vogler to drop back. He's got a man downfield, and it's incomplete. Looking for number 15, Cedric Dickens, a 5'10", 178-pound sophomore from Quanah, Texas.
Who's wearing gloves.
Let's go down to Brian Nooner on the field.
All right, Mike, before that last offensive series for Missouri, TCU's defensive coordinator told his defensive backs he wanted them to cheat up on the Missouri receivers. We talked to Lindsey Collins after the touchdown catch. He said he noticed that the coverage was indeed tighter, so he used his speed just to blow by the defender, and the result was 6 points for the Tigers. Also like to point out, New Sali is in the game for the Tigers as defensive back. We're going to send it back up to you, Mike.
Montkins gets across the 20-yard line to about the 22, hit by Harry Colin. And TCU starting to throw the ball just a little bit more.
Once again, a third down situation, 3rd and long. That first down penalty hurt TCU, and they're going without a huddle this time.
3rd and 7 now for the Frogs. Vogler has his hands on his hips, waiting for the play to be called by Jim Wacker on the sidelines. They've got 5 wide receivers. Vogler broken up. A good play by Sharon Washington out of Hazelwood West High School in St. Louis. Has never really played at corner before this year, but you wouldn't know it by that play.
Look at that vertical on that young man. He gets up there and knocks it away. Looks like an NBA swatting away a rebound.
Sharon Washington has never played at cornerback in a game before today.
6 feet 205. That's a huge cornerback.
So TCU will punt away. New Sali is back to receive. The ball bouncing across midfield. And they'll wait till this rolls as far as it can roll across the 35-yard line. We've got Missouri on top of TCU here in Columbia, 6-0. This is the Mizzou Sports Network. The Missouri Tigers back on offense, and they'll run to Michael Jones early, and he gets to about the 40-yard line, tied up there by Brad Smith.
It's kind of disappointing. I was hoping to see the ball in the air a lot more, Mike, and I'm not really into just running stuff, you know.
Well, you saw a beautiful passing play just a few minutes ago as the Tigers took the lead 6-0 on a 68-yard touchdown pass from Kent Keeper to Lindsey Collins. Collins is now wide to the far side. Damon Mays this way. Play action. Keeper again looking long for Collins. He's there. Touchdown, Tigers.
Now we're playing football. Let's see it up in the air. Lindsey Collins comes down and splits the secondary for 61 yards and a touchdown. A great pass by Keeper. Good protection by the offensive line.
61 yards from Kent Keeper to Lindsey Collins, and he beat Anthony Hickman big time.
Right down the middle, and Lindsey just uses his speed and blows by. Where is the free safety? He's nowhere to be seen.
Collins is 6'2". Hickman is only 5'8". So they tried to exploit that a little bit. And so Lindsey Collins with 2 catches for about 130-plus yards and 2 touchdowns.
Not a bad day. Collins, 3 for 151 yards for the day. That'll get him into the Heisman Trophy balloting. He's got the name for
2 points here, Kellen.
Well, they should. You got to get those in real quick.
Damon Mays could not hang on to the ball, and so another extra point fails for Missouri. However, they lead TCU via the airwaves 12-0. We will be back with more.
50 years.
Lindsey Collins, 129 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. And here he is coming into your living room.
From the end zone, Keeper drops back and releases, just lets it go with all he has. Where is the free safety? You see him, number 1, that I do believe trailing the play, got beat by the play.
Mark Plunkett just booted the kickoff out of the end zone, and so it'll come out to the 20 as the Horned Frogs try to get their offense going.
Right now, Mike, the Horned Frogs are stunned by these 2 big bombs that the Missouri Tigers have dropped on them. Missouri's playing emotional football right now. Coach Wacker's going to have to regroup.
There's a look at the scoring drive. Only took 44 seconds. A 61-yard touchdown reception And you don't see it any prettier than that. Again, they're going to go to the run, trailing by 12, and Montkins gets to the 29-yard line, or rather the 24-yard line. 6:30 to go in the first half. Mizzou on top 12-0.
Coach Wacker ran the ball that time simply to let the Missouri Tigers know that we're not panicking. We have plenty of time to get back into this game, and also to calm his troops down.
A year ago, TCU took a lead into the halftime locker room against Missouri, 10-3, and Missouri came back to win it 14-10. Now Missouri leads it 12-0. Vogler to pass. He's got a man across the 30-yard line, hit hard. Richard Woodley made the catch for TCU. He's not even on the depth chart. But a fine reception there, and TCU has a first down.
You can best believe the TCU coach is going to grab the young man and tell him, when you catch the ball, you go north and south. You don't run laterally. He could have had at least 5 more yards, maybe more from that play if he just turned upfield.
First down for the Horned Frogs. Vogler, they give to Montkins. He's got some room. Now he's tied up there by Sharon Washington. A good play defensively on the part of the senior out of St. Louis. 12-0. Tigers lead it. Less than 6 minutes to go in the first half. The Missouri defense has been very impressive. They're the big question mark going into the season. The offense in their second year under Coach Bob Stull expect to be productive. Vogler drops back. That's the tight end, Kelly Blackwell. He's close to a first down. He might have made it. Mike Riggenberg tied him up.
They're going to give him the first down. It's forward motion. A good hit by the secondary to come up and punish the receiver once he catches the ball. Put something on their minds.
Well, you talked about going to the tight ends, and every time the Horned Frogs have done it, they've gained some yards, Kellen.
If you're a young quarterback out there, you have a good-sized tight end, use them as much as you possibly can. It sets up the outside passing game. It sets up the running game. And besides, they're usually the best athletes on the field anyway.
He says so humbly. Looks like they're going to be just short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and inches for the Horned Frogs.
Maybe the quarterback draw. I don't know. Something just came to my head that they might run that.
What gives you that idea?
Only because we've seen it 3 times already today, maybe 4.
Yeah.
3 times they've converted it.
3rd and inches. Vogler stays in. Leon Clay does not come in this time. They've been bringing him in 3rd and short situations.
Well, let's see if the Missouri Tigers covers the centers. No, they don't. But let's see if they slant toward the middle. No, they did not.
Well, it was a nice try.
First down. I mean, you've got to catch up on that stuff eventually. Either as a player or as a coach, you have to have some instinct and know that they've done this before. They have a tendency to, and they will do it again. Anticipate, use your instincts.
A year ago, TCU 4-7. Total yards so far, TCU 107. Missouri 213. Missouri leads on the scoreboard 12-0. Another quarterback sneak. This one's going to go for big yardage. Almost 10 yards. Maybe a first down for TCU. Last week, their biggest play from scrimmage was their quarterback sneak. And they seem to be able to bust it open. Let's go down to the sidelines and Brian Nooner.
Thanks, Mike. Before the game, Missouri assistant coach Mike Ward told me Missouri would try to establish the run, and once it did so, it would go to the play-action pass. You saw that on the last touchdown to Lindsey Collins, so look for more of that here as we go into the end of the second quarter. Back to you, Mike.
All right, Brian. 2nd and 1 now. Montkins tied up. He may have the first down. It's going to be awfully close. George Hunt, number 72, in on the tackle.
Coach Stahl told me yesterday at practice that I was going to hear that name, George Hunt, quite a bit, and I should keep an eye on for this young man. He's really played well today, made a couple of big plays.
Once again, the referee, J.C. Louderback, who's out of Arkansas City, Kansas. He's going to want to look and to see if this is a first down. It's going to be awfully close, and looks like they're just short. We can already tell they have an exciting offense. The sophomore quarterback, Leon Clay, has the first down for TCU. Tim Burke made the tackle.
It's easy to convert those third downs when they're that short when you get big plays on first down. Missouri has failed to plug up the middle on those quarterback draws. Even in their alignment, they could take away that quarterback draws simply by putting the nose guard or the inside tackle over the center or in the gap, center guard gap.
Modkins again, the only back for the Horned Frogs. Vogler back at quarterback. And Modkins trips up a little bit on this omni-turf, and you can talk a little bit about that. Mike Riggenberg made the stop. It can be slippery out there.
It's a very slippery surface. I was talking to the equipment manager yesterday about the type of shoes that Missouri and TCU would wear out here on this surface. I am not. Oh, he slipped right on the paint. Can you believe that? That's the painted surface right on the M. He slipped right on that. Luckily not to twist an ankle or blow out a knee. I'm not an advocate of omni-turf.
3:08 to go, first half. Vogler the pass for TCU. Looks over the middle. He's got a man. That's Kelly Blackwell, and he gets to the 20-yard line, maybe the 19. Harry Colin prevented him from going any further, and Mike Jadlow also in on the tackle. Big play to the tight end again.
Mike, is that the tight end? That is a tight end, isn't it? A simple fake here to the hole to hold the middle linebacker, number 34, right there, and a pass right by him as he was trying to find where he was going to go. Tight end does a good job here of making the defensive back miss, but he's going north and south. He's going for that yardage.
First down for TCU. Vogler again to the airwaves, and again he hits his tight end, Kelly Blackwell. Blackwell stays on his feet and gets inside the 10-yard line. Riggenberg and Colin on the tackle.
Kelly Blackwell, not your tallest tight end in the college ranks, but a very good tight end, 6'2", 238. He's a little butterball. He can hit that hole, and he punishes those defensive backs. Here's the coverage here. Missouri's in the zone coverage right now, and the tight end just finds a little hole in what we call a little three route where he goes inside and just wheels back out.
That was a gain of 10, so it's first and goal and a timeout on the field. Vogler wants to talk it over with his head coach, Jim Wacker. In 1984, Wacker was the UPI, ESPN, and Sporting News Coach of the Year after leading the Frogs to an 8-4 season in his second year. They were 1-8 the previous season. But in September of 1985, after learning of illegal inducements provided by boosters to 7 Frog players, Wacker dismissed the players and immediately turned the matter over to the NCAA. So they had 3 years of NCAA sanctions. And over the next 3 years, they had a record of 11-22. They say this man has a lot of integrity, but now it's his job to start winning again. Coming up, some Tiger home games. Utah State next week. Arizona State, September the 29th. Colorado, Kansas State, Oklahoma. An exciting year of Missouri Tiger football as they try to restore the roar. It's first and goal now. Ball on the 9-yard line for TCU. Tigers lead it 12-0. Their defense has been outstanding so far. A running play, and the defense comes through again. And again, that name, number 47, Mike Riggenberg, makes the tackle.
TCU, it's not a very good play here by Coach Wacker and his staff. You know, the rollout draw play. Maybe they did to set something up. But you get inside the 10-yard line, you're thrown for a loss on first down. It puts you in a very, very bad situation.
Now it's second down and 13. A loss of 3. Yeah, that's second and goal from the 13-yard line. Vogler is a little bit confused, and again, he calls a timeout. 12-0. The Tigers lead TCU. 2 minutes and 1 second to play in the first half. Tigers with 2 big scoring passes from Kent Kiefer to Lindsey Collins. 2 plays over 60 yards each. Missouri with 3 timeouts left. TCU now with 1.
We're just about the 2-minute warning here. It's going to really tell the tale here. Missouri may be able to get this ball back whether TCU scores or not and use those 3 timeouts. And we'll see Coach Stahl's 2-minute offense, something he was practicing the other day.
Missouri with a 99-year record of 496, 394, and 49. So that leaves the Tigers just 4 wins shy of 500. Hoping to get 1 win closer to that mark today. We mentioned earlier, technically, This is the 101st year of Missouri football, not the 100th year. But the Tigers didn't field a team back in 1918 because of an influenza epidemic. When the television production crew is in town, they stay at the Holiday.
Right now, 87 yards. Not a very good average per pass, and he still looks a little confused about what he's going to do here. He's calling an audible at the line of scrimmage, checking off. Got a blitz.
That's Blackwell, the tight end, and a good tackle made by the freshman redshirt Mike Jadlow. Interesting story about Jadlow. He would not be playing today if not for the broken arm injury to Brad Scribner. He's just a freshman redshirt, good size, has all the tools, and he made a nice play there.
We're glad he did, because he misses that tackle. The tight end waltzes into the end zone.
Vogler back to pass. 3rd and goal. In trouble. He was hit by Curtis Roberts, who is the best pass rusher on this Missouri defensive team. You will see him in passing situations on defense. Number 90, the 6'4", 269-pound junior, Curtis Roberts. On the depth chart, he is number 2 at left end behind Rick Lyle, but you'll see him in passing situations. And now TCU will try a field goal on 4th down. Jeff Wilkinson, the barefoot, and again he misses wide to the left side. Well, the special teams have been a problem for TCU for several years. It was a problem last week against Washington State when they lost 21-3, and there's a problem again today as Wilkinson misses his 2nd field goal try from short yardage.
Should have been a chip shot, Mike, and of course it only does but demoralize TCU and uplifts Missouri.
Al Onofrio and Don Farrow, 2 of the great coaching legends in Missouri football history, celebrating 100 years of Missouri football. Tigers on offense, and that's Michael Jones to the 25-yard line. Tigers lead at 12-0. A minute and change to play here in the first half.
Coach Stahl is going to his 2-minute offense just to practice it, if anything.
3-minute
rush
throw
for
it.
TCU.
Sean Moore is there, and he's tied up at the 30-yard line.
Maybe a first down, depends on the spot. Looks like they're going to give it to him right at the 30-yard line. Missouri again with no huddle.
Tigers trying to move the ball again. They lead at 12-0. Keeper, 8 of 12, nearly 200 yards passing in the first half. Oh, nearly intercepted. Jason Cauble was there. And that's what you worry about this time in the game. They have a 12-0 lead. They're deep in their own territory, and they're putting the ball in the air.
You may be better off just going to the running game right now, run the clock out, and come back out during the second half on an emotional high. Right now, we have a penalty marker on the field. Interception could really, really hurt the Missouri Tigers' chances in the second half.
Stay tuned for our halftime festivities, a look back at 100 years of Missouri football. We'll have an interview with Don Farrow and first half stats and highlights. Missouri leading at 12-0, 46 seconds to go, first half. Damon Mays checks out of the game. Skip Leach comes in with the play for Kent Kiefer.
That was a holding call on that last play there, called on the Missouri front line.
So it's 1st and 20 now from the 20, and now they give it to Michael Jones, the fullback, and he struggles to maybe get a yard before he's thrown back.
TCU is going to take their last timeout here, and hopefully they'll get a chance to go after a block punt. A good call by Coach Wacker and his staff. You have to try all angles. Roosevelt
Collins helped make that stop. You may be hearing his name a little bit more this afternoon. Collins, number 48, is the best all-around athlete on this TCU team, according to the coaches. All conference as a sophomore. He's got 4.6 speed. He can squat 625 pounds. That's number 48. Look for him in white. You can sort of see the logo on the right side of the Missouri helmet. The left side, of course, has the block M. This year only on the right side of the helmet, they've got the commemorative decal for the 100 years of Missouri football. And you had some fun last night, Kellen, I know, because they had some of the great coaches and some of the great football legends at a big banquet emceed by Jack Buck over at one of the local hotels. That had to be fun.
It was fun, Mike. Over 700 people attended the dinner. 100 years of Missouri football was celebrated, and coaches all the way back to the early 30s with Coach Faroe being there.
Early 30s, that's when you played, wasn't it?
That's when I played, early 30s, when we didn't use face masks. We were real men.
So that's what happened to you.
Can't blame it on my mother.
12-0, the Tigers leading TCU. 2nd and 20. 41 seconds to play. First half. Kiefer to Jones. He'll get to the outside. Trying to go for the first down. He gets awfully close before he's knocked out of bounds. Tony Rand and Anthony Hickman knocked him out.
Well, that's one thing he didn't want to do. He did not want to get out of bounds. I think Coach Stahl just wants to get this half over with, take his young ball club, his young defense to the locker room, congratulate them on the first half played very well. But Jones should have stayed in bounds. TCU had no more timeouts left.
I said he nearly got to the first down marker, but that was actually just the line of scrimmage because they had been thrown back to the 20-yard line. TCU now has gone to a 3-4 defense with 30 seconds to play in the first half. Kiefer, the give, the tailback, Sean Moore. He cuts to the outside, across the 40. He's got a first down. And let's see if he stayed in bounds. No, he's out of bounds, first down. And still 26 seconds to play in the first half. Brad Smith knocked him out.
A great call by the offensive staff, a misdirection play, pulling both the backside guard and tackle through the hole. A great run by the back here, missing a tackle, getting the first down. Now we're in a position where Missouri Tigers can get a touchdown or a field goal at least. He should get out of bounds, use those timeouts, go back to the 2-minute offense.
Sean Moore out of Springfield, Missouri. 197 pounds, just 5'10". A good slashing runner. Can break some tackles. That was a gain of 16 yards. So it's 1st and 10 for Missouri. Ball on the 41-yard line. We're in the second quarter, 26 seconds to play. Mizzou on top by virtue of 2 Kent Kiefer to Lindsey Collins touchdown passes, and it is 12-0. Missouri has missed both extra point attempts.
They may come back to haunt the Tigers later on in the game if TCU gets their offense untracked.
TCU had this problem a week ago where they were moving the ball pretty well, but they could not get to the end zone, only scoring 3 points against Washington State. They have moved the ball fairly well in the first half here against Missouri, but they have nothing to show for it.
2 missed field goals. Coach Wacker may want to go back this week. He had trouble last week with his punter, averaging only 28 yards. Now he's got trouble with his field goal kicker, missing 2, which should have been chip shots.
3 wide receivers for Missouri. Kiefer to put it in the air. A little bit of trouble. Dumps it off to Michael Jones. Jones has the first down. Gets to about the 41-yard line. They've got 2 timeouts left, and they quickly call a timeout. So Missouri now will have 1 timeout after this.
Just a delay little screen over the middle. We call it a naked screen where none of the linemen come out. The receivers push the secondary deep, and of course he just drops it off to his safety valve there. The plan back for a 15-yard gain. Michael Jones makes a good move here. He's trying to get out of bounds, but he's not able to do it. Missouri calls their second timeout, 1 timeout left.
Roosevelt Collins was honing in on Kent Kiefer. Remember, he was sacked 30-plus times a year ago. So far, the Missouri offensive line has been impressive. Kiefer didn't have much time, then he dumped it off to Jones. And so the Tigers take a timeout, and they're moving the ball again with a 12-0 lead.
It's one problem with the pre-beat defense that TCU is partially in right now. They're not in it totally, but they're running all their defensive backs deep. The thing is, don't let them get behind you for the big play.
There's a look at the arithmetic on Kent Kiefer. 209 yards throwing. Last year, in his first game as the starting quarterback for Missouri against TCU, he had 228 yards passing. He almost has that here in the first half. He might get it before this first half is over. 16 seconds to go. Again, 3 wide receivers for the Tigers. And again, Kiefer to put the ball in the air. Dumps it off to Jones. That was the same play, only this time TCU read it well.
Same play to the right side. One of the problems you have with only rushing 3 people is they don't get off the line of scrimmage because they're being blocked by 5 offensive linemen. That time they wanted them to come in. They should have left them in and dropped it off to Michael Jones.
All right, Kellen, now you've got 9 seconds to go. Missouri calls their last time out of the half. What do you go for? Do you go for the long pass again?
You're going to take a shot at the end zone from here. It's going to be kind of difficult to do that because the defensive back's going to play so far back. So what they're going to try to do is, here on second down, is to get a play out of bounds. You want a receiver about 15 yards down on an outside time pattern, we should say. Hopefully make the completion, if not an interference call, and take a shot at the field goal.
The ball is on the 41-yard line. Missouri up 12-0, trying to extend that lead, and boy, this would take the wind out of the sails of TCU if they can get one more score before the half.
Field goal or a touchdown are really good. It will give them back. They got a field goal, give them back those 2 points they missed on the extra point. But then it would just really send a message to TCU that you're in Columbia, you're playing Missouri Tigers, we came to play today, and you're in trouble.
And so the Tigers will work it again. No timeouts left. Kent Kiefer.
Look for an outside pass to the short side of the field, and Nancy Nelson.
2 wide receivers. They also have a tailback. Kiefer going to run it himself. He has some room. He gets to about the 32-yard line. Kenneth Walton made the tackle, and that's the end of the first half. That's the end of the first half with the Missouri Tigers. Very happy going to the locker room with a 12-0 lead. Nothing. It could have been a little bit better for Missouri had Jeff Jackie hit a field goal early on, but Jeff Jackie couldn't quite get it through the uprights. Kellen?
Mike, as we talked earlier, he gets a good placement there, but just pushes the ball, trying to get distance on it, never gets the height on it, and you can tell it's kind of going sideways and over versus straight up and over. Never really had a chance of making it.
TCU has a barefoot kicker by the name of Jeff Wilkinson. He's got a very strong leg. He is kicked in scrimmages, field goals well over 50 yards, but here he missed a chip shot, a couple of them in the first half.
Could be jittery here in the whole bit, but he gets a good placement. His head is down on the ball. He just hooks it. That's the problem with a soccer-style kicker. Sometimes they get too much leg into the ball and just pulls it to the left.
And he did the exact same thing the second time he had a chance, and so TCU is not on the board yet, and Jeff Wilkinson and his coach Jim Wacker very frustrated at this point.
Once again, a very good spot. Laces to him. He goes right through the ball. No pressure at all. Hooks the ball again, almost in the same spot.
And so our score is 12-0 Tigers. The Missouri Tigers beginning their 100th season of Missouri football, and this is the Mizzou Sports Network. Season of intercollegiate football at the University of Missouri. It's also the university's 84th year as a member of the Big 8 Conference. The second season, of course, under the direction of head coach Bob Stoll. The 65th season playing at Memorial Stadium, Faroe Field. And the 6th season playing on the OmniTurf at home, which Kellen Winslow loves so well.
I don't understand it, Mike. We talked about this earlier. Why the university would take out the grass and put in the OmniTurf. I prefer the grass.
Halftime stats are brought to you by Busch Beer. First downs, actually, TCU has the lead over Missouri. But if you look at the passes and the yardage, you can see why Missouri has the lead, 210 yards to 95.
Some coaches put a lot of weight in stats, and some try to dismiss them to make their team look very good. Right now, it's not a bad stat for Missouri as far as the passing yards concerned. You'd like to have a better yard per rush instead of 19 rushes for 64 yards. Also on the same side for TCU. First downs are only a matter of how many times you get the ball. Missouri has 10, TCU has 12, but Missouri has done more with the ball when they had it.
And look at that time of possession. The Horned Frogs actually controlling the ball a lot more often than Missouri, but when you put the ball up in the air for those 60-plus yard touchdown receptions, that's going to happen.
That's why I like the forward pass. It's exciting. People like to watch it. It can happen any moment, and you're never out of the ball game when you're able to throw the football. Running is fine if you live in Oklahoma.
50 years ago, junior Paul Chrisman quarterbacked Mizzou to its first ever Orange Bowl in 1940. He is now the top nominee after 3 weeks of voting for the University of Missouri All-Century football team. But don't count out Kellen Winslow, the standout tight end from MU, alongside us today from 1976 to 78. You know, you're number 2 in the balloting, only 6 votes short of the lead. That's pretty heavy company there, Mr. Winslow.
It is. Once you stop and think about it, we're talking about a tight end, a guy who played tight end here. It was years ago. I'm surprised anybody still remembers, but it's still just a tight end position, which was not even in the Missouri playbook when I came here in 1975. I'm just honored to be considered in the same class.
The fans here at Faurot Field watching the Missouri Tiger Marching Band, and we'll watch along with them. Are back on the field here at Faurot Field in Columbia as we get set for the second half of football action. The Missouri Tigers leading the TCU Horned Frogs by the score of 12-0. Art Holliday is on the field with Coach Bob Stowe. Art.
Okay, Coach Bob Stowe, 12-0 halftime lead for the Mizzou Tigers. First of all, on the plus side, Lindsey Collins, the 2 long pass plays. Athletic ability on one, he just outran the guy. On the other one, he and Kent Keeper read what the defense was doing. They were trying to pressure him. He ran right by the guy down the sideline.
Yeah, one was a blitz check, and the other one was a play-action pass. And again, we're lucky we had 2 big plays on offense, and defensively came with some big plays to stop them. So, but that's pretty much the name of the game so far.
And I know the defensive improvement is one thing that you really wanted to see. You wanted to see your ball club perform defensively.
Yeah, and we did fairly well. We need to get them out of drives quicker, though. They've had some long drives that nearly ended the scores. We need to get them out a little bit quicker.
Okay, Bob, thank you very much. Missouri head coach Bob Stowe. 12-0 halftime lead here in favor of the Mizzou Tigers. This is the Missouri Tiger Network.
There's a look at quarterback Kent Keeper as he gets ready for the second half of football action. Over 200 yards passing in the first half. And the Tigers will kick off. Tigers going from our left to our right as we begin the third quarter of action. TCU with their purple helmets, white jerseys, will be going from our right to our left. Kellen, what do you expect here in the second half?
Well, TCU's going to get the ball here. They're going to have to come out and establish something early in the second half to let Missouri know they're back in this ball game. I expect to see some misdirection plays from TCU. Maybe not so much of that draw play they've been running, but also more putting the ball in the air.
Mark Plunkett boomed one out on a kickoff earlier. The second half kickoff is brought to you by the heartbeat of America, today's Chevy truck. And here we go. That's Anthony Hickman on the reception for TCU. He downs it. And the Horned Frogs will start at their own 20-yard line trying to get some offense established. They moved the ball fairly well in the first half, Kellen, but they were unable to score.
They moved the ball, they dominated the ball as far as time was concerned, but they did it inside the 20s, from one 20 to the other. You have to get across that 20-yard line, and when you get that opportunity to get those field goals, all points add up. They have to convert.
Middle linebacker Tom Reiner, number 43, his ankle is heavily taped. He had to come out in the first half, but it looks like he's going to try to play in the second half. Matt Vogler is the quarterback. Play action pass early. He's got a man, drop ball. Cedric Jackson had the ball in his hands and then just dropped it. It'll be 2nd and 10 for TCU.
Not a great way to start there, but they came out in that play action pass, faking the draw and rolling out, something they set up in the first half.
Matt Vogler, 12 of 16 for 91 yards in the first half. Last week, the Horned Frogs put the ball in the air 55 times and came away with only 3 points. They're looking for more now. That's complete. That goes to the tight end, Chris Thompson. But there's flag or two now on the field.
When you see a flag in that area, you're really looking at offensive holding.
See it from the end zone, Kellen.
Once again, it's going to be a fake draw, a fake run up the middle. He's looking downfield and having it checks off to the tight end real quick. I didn't get a chance to see the penalty, but I think they're calling illegal procedure or offside. Pretty much one and the same thing on TCU, moving them back 5 yards.
You wonder if they're going to go to their tight end a little bit more often here in the second half, Kellen. It worked so well for them in the first half. And they moved the ball, as we mentioned earlier, from the 20-yard line to the 20-yard line, although they couldn't get into the end zone.
Well, Vogler's done a good job. He should have 2 more completions than he does. 2 receivers dropped 2 passes on him by wearing those gloves, as I mentioned earlier. But he should go to the tight end, control the ball down the middle, pretty much like Joe Montana does in the San Francisco 49ers so skillfully.
5-yard penalty, 2nd and 5. Vogler in trouble. Looks down long, intercepted by Maurice Benson. He could go all the way. He is stopped at the 2-yard line. Maurice Benson on the interception for the Tigers, setting up another Tiger score.
Okay, start the playoff. Vogler gets pressure right away. He doesn't expect it coming from his right side. But coming to your picture quickly, is getting pressure. He avoids the rush. On his left side, he avoids the rush. He throws downfield, kind of blind, looking for the receiver. Defensive back steps in, makes a great play, and should have scored. He doesn't realize someone's behind him. He's trying to avoid the offensive lineman, and the receiver catches him from behind.
What a great story number 23 Maurice Benson is. He was involved in a hunting accident in the offseason, was shot in the eye, only has limited vision in his right eye. The Tigers go absolutely nowhere on that play on first down at the 2-yard line. Maurice Benson was shot in the eye. They weren't sure he could ever play football again. He has limited vision in his right eye. And there he made the interception. And Mario Johnson has come into the game. The wide load for Missouri. This is the guy who likes to get the ball in short yardage situations. Johnson, over 300 pounds. He covers up and bounces over everybody. He's going to try for the touchdown. No, they give it to Jones this time. Johnson blocking. And again, really no gain for Missouri.
Well, Johnson did a good job in clearing out the hole, but there was penetration because the back was so far behind Johnson when he hit the hole. The problem here is that they've got to spread them out.
There's a look at the hole that Johnson opened up. Look at him.
See, he gets the second line. He misses the first guy who really gets past him. He's got to open his eyes when he goes to the hole blocking. He's not used to that.
Victor Bailey, the transfer out of UTEP, number 2. Watch him on this play. Sean Moore is open, picked off. That is Lavoyle Crump. He's up the sideline. Kent Keefer was the only man to beat. Keefer with a good play to knock him out of bounds. But a Missouri Tiger touchdown situation is foiled by TCU, and they turn it back the other way.
2 receivers in the same area. Quarterback comes out. Instead of drilling the ball to one, he floats it in between the 2. Defensive back steps in and takes the interception. And a big play for TCU. Could be the play that turns them around. A little drifter there. 2 receivers right in the same area. Maybe should have been spread apart a little bit more, but there should have been ump on the pass by Keefer. This could have been dangerous if Keefer had not took the right angle to cut him off.
Well, he's a hard-nosed quarterback, not afraid to hit. And he knocked Lavoyle Crump out of bounds, and it's a good thing he did, or Crump would have gone for a touchdown. A 42-yard return by Crump. And I would imagine that this will really help TCU, because Missouri could have put this thing out of reach with that touchdown. And now it's 12-0. Broken play there. And just as we were about to say that TCU was on the move, a broken play.
Once again, it seems like there's a little cadence problem between the quarterback and the center when he wants to get that ball. This is the 3rd penalty for TCU of this type, if it is on TCU. Yep, it is on TCU.
Illegal procedure on the Horned Frogs. Boy, the Tigers come out. They intercept the ball. Maurice Benson takes it to the 2-yard line of TCU. 3 tries for Missouri. They can't get into the end zone. On 3rd down, Lavoyle Crump picks off Kent Keefer's pass. And now TCU works the ball at the 36-yard line. TCU 3 penalties for 15 yards. Missouri 2 for 15. That's Curtis Motkins. The leg's still moving. He gets to about the 39-yard line.
TCU has an automatic. They call it the line of scrimmage. Vogler has an opportunity to take it anytime he chooses that. He has it. It's where the center is uncovered. And he has he taps him on the hip, and he gives the ball to him quickly. He just takes one step back and hits the hole, and everyone else is sitting there waiting for the cadence.
2nd down and 12 for TCU. No back offense. This is the triple shoot. 5 wideouts. Vogler. He's got Cedric Jackson. He makes a nice catch, but he was out of bounds. Now remember, in college football, you only have to have one-footed bounce when you make the catch, but Jackson was out of bounds on that catch. He made a nice grab.
He was almost behind the TCU bench when his second foot came down. But Vogler gets down once again, running a play into the short side of the field. He gets pretty good protection. Missouri did send a linebacker on the blitz. The pass just ran out of real estate.
Jermaine Wilkins and Leon Fisher had him covered. 12:49 to go, 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 12. Another passing situation for the Horned Frogs. Vogler drops back.
Watch for the tight end.
He's covered up. Fumble. Horned Frogs recovered, but a good play by Rick Lyle, the freshman redshirt, number 59. Harry Colin tried to get that ball, but TCU covered up.
Here Vogler drops back, and he's into the pocket. He's okay right there in the pocket, but he makes a mistake of moving up 1 or 2 steps, but too far here, and runs directly into the defensive lineman. Not to take anything away from the defensive lineman, made a great play, but Vogler ran right into him, coughed up the ball, and TCU was lucky to fall back on it.
The quick guard, Mike Sullivan, recovered the punt for TCU, and they will punt it away. Nearly a fumble. Maurice Benson on the punt return called a fair catch. And so Missouri's offense comes back on the field with the Tigers leading 12-0. This is the Mizzou Sports Network.
From St. Louis's 24-hour news channel, this is a News Channel 5 update.
Good afternoon, I'm Jeff Fowler. The heat is being blamed for the deaths of 2 area residents yesterday. St. Louis police are looking for this man in connection with the rape of a St. Louis University student on campus Monday. Police patrols around the school have been beefed up. And President Bush says he won't ask Mikhail Gorbachev to send Soviet troops to the Middle East. More news in 1 hour on News Channel 5, your 24-hour news channel.
To the extent that we can economize, we can deliver more services efficiently and effectively to the taxpayer.
Most government officials don't want outside management experts looking in because they are afraid of what they'll find. H. Milford is different.
Save about $1 million over 5 years.
When he took charge as county executive, he formed a group of private business experts to analyze how county government could save money. The result, $20 million over 5 years. Milford is also working to get the county out of the real estate business by selling the Riverport land and the 7-Up building.
From Christopher down to the river.
As a businessman for 32 years, it is no surprise that H. Milford, with an eye on the bottom line, leads by example, cutting his own office budget first.
I'm convinced that government can be more economical than it has been in the past.
Common sense, uncommon leadership. H. Milford, the unpolitician.
12:26 to go, 3rd quarter. Missouri with the ball. Look at Coach Bob Stull. Ball goes to Michael Jones. He's tied up before the line of scrimmage, and a flag is thrown.
So we might have a holding call there, where the flag came in. TCU players are waving that it is against Missouri. When that happens, it's usually holding. There it is.
Holding against Missouri, their 3rd penalty of the game. 3 penalties for 25 yards against the Missouri Tigers so far. Bob Stull, last year in his first game as Tiger coach, the Tigers beat TCU last year, 14-10. His 6-year record as a head coach, 33-36. Last year, of course, the Tigers disappointing 2-9. They could have easily been 5-6 with a couple of good breaks. They led Iowa State 21-0 at one point. Had a chance to beat Oklahoma State. Here they're trying to go 1-0 in 1990. That's Sean Moore. He gets to the outside. Nearly gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Tony Rand knocked him out of bounds. Number 1.
Keeper took advantage of what he's seeing on the left side of the field. Simply TCU playing off. They're running off with the receivers, hit the back coming out of the backfield before the inside linebacker can get over to them. More plays like that, they'll have more ball control, and they'll start to dominate as far as possession of ball is concerned.
Lindsey Collins to the far side. Damon Mays this way. Keeper, play action. Dumps it out to Sean Moore again. Now he gets to about the line of scrimmage. And it'll be third down. Sad Jackson and Anthony Hickman made the play for the Horned Frogs.
It's kind of a strange play for the Missouri Tigers. They were trying to use Kiefer to roll out to the right and fool everybody, then throw back to the back. But the inside linebacker and the strong safety didn't bite on it at all. As a matter of fact, they hit the running back behind the line of scrimmage.
So it's third and long for Missouri. 3rd and 10. The ball's on the 39-yard line. 12:06 to go, third quarter. Lindsey Collins and Skip Leach both this way. The wide receivers. It goes to Collins again across midfield for a first down, Missouri. Lindsey Collins, his 3rd reception of the game. Larry Brown made the tackle.
Lindsey Collins is such a great talent. They're going to have him out here on the right side for a round, simply just run him up the field real short, take the outside receiver, Leach, inside receiver, run him outside, and then duck Lindsey up under him as Kiefer waited patiently for him and hit him right in the area for the first down.
He's the man, Lindsey Collins, 2 touchdowns so far today. Mays in motion. It's the reverse, but Mays got tied up with his roommate, Ken Kiefer. You'd think they're roommates. They'd know a little bit better than that, having worked that play in practice. Jason Cauble made the play for the Frogs.
A great play by the outside linebacker, Cauble. He comes in here, and penetration will stop anything. He gets there, and the reverse is coming in, and he stays within his pattern and sees the play. The problem with a lot of young defensive players is that they see the play go away from them, and they stop carrying out their assignment. This time he did. He stayed in his area. He penetrated and ran right into the play.
So it's 2nd and long, 2nd and 16. The ball's on the 45-yard line. 3 wideouts for Missouri. Keeper. He tried to get it to Skip Leach or Damon Mays. It might have been deflected. Greg Evans on the deflection, number 6 in white for TCU. And now it's 3rd and long for the Tigers.
That situation again, 3rd and long. The trick play, the reverse, really hurt the Missouri Tigers. The last play, Keeper took a short drop, but he got penetration once again from defensive linemen. They got their hands up and knocked the ball down.
Last time in a long passing situation, they went to Lindsey Collins right over the middle.
Same formation as before.
Cauble on the blitz try.
Pretty much the same play.
He got Collins, but all Collins could get was to about the 47-yard line, the original line of scrimmage. Anthony Hickman was there on the play for TCU. We'll see it again.
Take a look at it here, Mike. You see Lindsey coming in from your right side of your left side of your screen coming inside. And Kiefer could have got the ball to him a little bit quicker. He could have hit that hole up in there. TCU, really, they let the man run scot-free down the middle.
A bad snap. Plunkett's got to go back and get it. And he just booms it up. Actually, not a bad punt for the situation. And it gets a Missouri roll. Across the 40, 35-yard line. And boy, what a break that was for Missouri.
American-style football at its finest. Rugby in Columbia, Missouri.
Mark Plunkett with an excellent play for the Missouri Tigers, or they would have been in deep trouble. The Tigers lead it 12-0. 1st and 10 for TCU. They give to the sophomore back Montkins. Around the right side, gets across the 40-yard line to about the 42, Harry Colin on the tackle.
Great blocking by the right side of TCU's line as they just drove the left side of Missouri line off the ball. There was no penetration at all. The back team just drifting around the outside and said, look, a traffic lane.
9:44 to go, third quarter. Missouri on top of TCU, 12-0. It'll be 2nd and 2 for the Horned Frogs. They stay to the run. Again, it's Montkins. Tied up by number 43, Tom Reiner. He came out of the game in the first half with an ankle injury. It's heavily taped now, and he made a fine tackle.
He did make a fine tackle, Mike, to fill that hole. Looked like the running back might have had a hole to slip through there, but Reiner filled the hole quickly and stopped him right in his tracks. A good, solid hit.
No gain, so it's 3rd and 2, ball on the 42-yard line.
See if the Tigers put somebody over the center, or at least try to cover it up a little bit for that quarterback draw.
Leon Clay into the game for TCU, and he takes it across the first down marker. Rick Lyle made the stop, but another first down for the Horned Frogs.
That's such a consistent play when a quarterback comes in like that and able to run fresh and not have to take a beating on the first and second down. That's a very consistent play for Coach Wacker, and you have to commend him for having the ability and the talent to do that.
It also gives Matt Vogler a chance to talk to the coaches on the sidelines about the plays that he's going to run the next 3 downs.
Exactly. Most coaches do not like to platoon players like that, especially a quarterback position. But in this case, it seems to be working okay.
Give to Montkins, going nowhere. Reiner again on the tackle. Kellen, I'm very impressed with the Missouri defense and their aggressive play so far today. They were the big question mark coming into the 1990 season. And this TCU offensive team is supposed to be a team with a lot of firepower.
Well, Coach Stahl is starting 3 seniors, 3 juniors, 3 sophomores, and 2 freshmen. 1 a redshirt freshman on their defensive unit today, and they have played like a group of all juniors and seniors.
Triple shoot offense. 1 back is Montkins. Vogler, quick drop, goes to Cedric Jackson. Jackson, virtually no gain. Again, the Missouri defense, and Harry Colon, number 21, makes the stop.
I was told yesterday by the Missouri equipment mass staff that you have to have a certain shoe to play on this surface, and it takes a certain type of runner to run on this surface. We've seen Cedric Jackson slip twice in the open field when he should have had bigger gains. Maybe he's not wearing the right shoe.
5 receivers, no backs, now in for TCU. Couple of tight ends. 3rd and 7. Vogler drops, gets Blackwell, the tight end, on the right side. That's a first down for TCU at about the 41-yard line. Jermaine Wilkins and Maurice Benson make the tackle.
You could pretty much see it coming when TCU spread out their players like that. With the tight end, you see the tight end coming up from inside. A great shot here from behind the TCU line, and just gets up under the linebacker into the open area that's cleared out by the receivers on the other side. And the big guy, 6'2", 238, just turns it upfield after slipping a tackle, gets the first down.
It's a play that's worked all day for TCU, and they try to come back to it, and a fine hit there, a hard hit by Tom Reiner. Incomplete pass.
Now, Mike, this is the type of play where the receiver goes back to the quarterback and says, did you see that guy out in front of me? Because I sure wasn't looking for him. This is on the quarterback. He has to see the linebacker sitting there. He never even looked, just threw the ball and just sets his receiver up, open up another can of wide receivers.
I mentioned before how Tom Reiner had to come out of the game with an ankle injury, but he has come back, and he is strong. 6'1", 235 from California.
San Ramon.
Incomplete. He thought Montkins was going to run a little bit closer to the sideline, threw it over his head. He was under pressure.
Well, he saw the linebacker read the play and come up and get past the 2 offensive linemen to really put pressure on the back, and really much just threw it over his head to get rid of it. It was a broken up play.
6:55 to go, 3rd quarter. 12-0 Missouri. 3rd and 10 now. 5 defensive backs now in for the Missouri defense. 5 wide receivers for the Horned Frogs. Vogler has some time, tried to hit his tight end Blackwell. A good play by Mike Riggenberg. Incomplete pass, and it looks like the Horned Frogs will have to punt away again.
Same play as before, same formation. Tight end, instead of coming across up under the linebacker this time, stops and pivots back to the outside. He goes inside. He tries to avoid the linebacker. A little collision there. Maybe a flag, maybe not. But Vogler throws it up over his head, and a nice shot right to the hip and a slam to the omni-turf.
What a job by the Missouri defense as TCU will punt away. That's Maurice Benson at about the 7-yard line. A flag was thrown. We'll find out more about that when we come back on the Mizzou Sports Network. Line, 1st and 10. They also have the lead 12-0. Mizzou against TCU in the season opener. Flags are thrown. The whistle blows early.
It's like a little bit of illegal procedure. Maybe a misalignment there, but usually when a whistle's blown that early, it's on the offense.
Let's go down to the sidelines and Brian Nooner. Brian.
Thank you, Mike. As you noticed in the last possession, the TCU defensive backs are having trouble with the Missouri receivers. In order to make up for this, TCU is blitzing quite a bit. Now, Missouri's concern is, can Kent Keefer pick up the blitz quick enough? The last series he had a lot of trouble. Let's see what happens this series. Back to you, Mike.
It'll be 1st and 15 now for the Tigers. They're working at their own 8-yard line. Give the ball to Ronell Cahill. He's across the 10. Another flag is thrown. He's stopped at about the 11-yard line.
That's going to push Missouri back even further. That's holding right in there when you see 3 flags around the line play. Maybe even a clip from behind. A little misdirection by Missouri trying to cut back.
Rayford Rattan made the stop for TCU as they keep pushing Missouri back. From the low angle, here's what it looked like.
But once again, the analyst is wrong. We got a face mask here. Whose face mask got grabbed? Still a misdirection there by Missouri. They come back. Up right there.
So that'll be against TCU. Kenneth Walton, number 90, grabbing the face mask of Ronell Cahill.
On the defense, 5-yard penalty.
So 5-yard penalty, and gives Missouri just a little bit more room to work now. Penalties pretty even. 5 against TCU for 25 yards. Missouri 1 less penalty, but more yardage. 6:35 to go, 3rd quarter. 1st and 8 for the Tigers. The ball is on the 16-yard line. The give to the fullback, Jones. He's in trouble. He's tackled all the way back at the 5-yard line. Anthony Hickman, the right corner, in the backfield to make the tackle.
That time, Keeper probably did not like what he saw because he called his receivers in tight. He called his tight end in tight. All 11 men within the hash marks there. And here it was something that young running backs, old running backs do not want to do. I mean, take your loss right to the line of scrimmage. Don't try to make a great play out of nothing because you usually end up with nothing.
Don't go backward. And so the Tigers now 2nd and 20. Deep in their own territory. They're at the 6-yard line. Keeper to Jones. Jones cuts up the middle. He may have the first down. There was a fumble, perhaps. And TCU recovers. A big break for the Horned Frogs. We were waiting for the signal, and TCU has recovered the ball. Jason Cauble, the senior linebacker, recovered the ball for the Horned Frogs as Michael Jones coughed it up.
A bit of a misdirection play, pulling the backside guard and tackle here. He gets up through the hole, Michael Jones here, and he hits the hole real good, but watch the hit put on by the free safety as he puts his helmet right on the ball along his shoulder. Probably knocked the wind out of Jones a little bit, but there goes the ball on the ground, and TCU recovers deep in Missouri's territory.
Well, there's a big break for the Horned Frogs. They trail 12-0, but they can make a game of it right now if they can get in the end zone. 5:46 to go, 3rd quarter. Vogler, play action pass. Nobody's even close. He was going for Stephen Shipley, who is his favorite receiver, number 87. A guy with sure hands, but he was not even close to that pass.
Shipley's a long, tall, lanky guy, and the defensive back from Missouri did a good job of keeping him at the line of scrimmage and not allowing him to get into his pass route, thus throwing the timing off of that pass by Vogler.
A good play by Sharon Washington, number 18, the left corner for Missouri. Bob Stahl looking for his first win of 1990, his 3rd win as the Missouri Tiger head football coach. His team in trouble here. Vogler loses the ball, covers up. Mario Johnson in on the play. And TCU on a 3rd down and long situation. Another great defensive play by Mario Johnson.
Coach Stahl not only has a great talent in Mario Johnson, he has a great PR guy. Mario puts the pressure on Vogler here, gets him to stumble and put the ball on the ground, but then Mario gets up and gets the crowd involved in the game. Probably more important than the sack.
And so it'll be 3rd down and 18 for TCU. A loss of 8 on the play. And there's a look at number 97, Mario Johnson, out of the St. Louis area. Hazelwood Central. 3rd and 18. Ball's on the 30-yard line. A running play to Modkins. I'm not quite sure what they were trying to do there. Mike Riggenberg makes the tackle, and that will set up another field goal kicking situation for the Horned Frogs.
I do believe they're going to, well, okay, we got a field goal kicker here, number 22. He's going to come out, and hopefully he's got the ball in the middle of the field this time, not on the left hash mark. And we'll see if he adjusts his swing through to get that ball through the upright so he'll hook it again.
Jeff Wilkinson, the barefooted kicker. He's missed 2 earlier. Now he's in trouble. They pick it up. That's Mike Nowak with the ball. Nowak had a back injury, wasn't even supposed to play. He does not get the first down, and Missouri will take over at their own 24-yard line.
What kind of snap we get here? Seems to be a decent snap, but the handler just doesn't get the ball down on the ground in time for the kicker to come through. It throws the timing way off. In between, he decides to stop as the holder sits there and waits for him to kick the ball, and he never does. Picks the ball up and rolls to his right side with a bad back and tries to make something out of it. But fortunately for the Missouri Tigers, a miscue by TCU.
Well, the Horned Frogs have croaked a couple of times today. When they've had a couple of opportunities to put some numbers on the board, and they're still scoreless. Keeper to pass for Missouri. This way to Damon Mays. He cuts to the outside, gets across the 35-yard line.
Okay, that's a very dangerous pass for a keeper to throw a pass that's in the air that long and that far of a distance across the field. If he floats that thing and the defensive back breaks on it and reads it, he's going to pick it off and waltz into the end zone.
3:49 to play, 3rd quarter. Mizzou on top, 12-0. Michael Jones in trouble, and he's thrown all the way back to the 32-yard line. Larry Brown on the tackle for TCU. Kent Keeper, 15 of 21, 245 yards, 2 touchdown passes. Missouri with the lead, 12-0. Keeper hit Lindsey Collins twice in the first half.
Mike Jones has to get out of this bad habit of trying to make a big play when he has something. Just take what he has and cutting back and turning back field. He's cost the Tigers quite a bit of yardage here in the second half by trying to look for the big play.
Jones again. Goes to the far side. Gets across the 35-yard line, or maybe just at the 35-yard line. With 2:57 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Once again, Mike, not to harbor a point. Turn it upfield, Michael Jones. Take what you can get. Go north and south. He's trying to do too much of a wiggle. He's not a wiggle back.
Tony Rand made the stop. That sets up a 3rd and about 12, a passing situation for the Tigers. Victor Bailey is in the game. He wears number 2. He's on the far side. Damon Mays and Lindsey Collins are on the near side. Jones in the backfield. Keeper looking for a man. He's got the big tight end, David Frisch, over the middle. He's tied up very short. Nowhere near the first down marker, about 5 yards short. And the punting team will come on now for the Tigers.
David Frisch, the tight end, makes a good catch over the middle. Not even close to being enough for the first down. A little family note here. David Frisch is the cousin of Randy Frisch, a guy I played here with at Missouri who was tragically killed in a car accident a few years ago.
David Frisch, a future star, the coaches think. 6'7", 240 sophomore. He has all the tools. Plunkett on the punt. Anthony Hickman on the return for TCU. He gets some yardage all the way back to the 30-yard line. Fumble on the play. And we'll have to see who recovers. A battle for it. Sort of a rugby scrum as they try to get the ball, and the Horned Frogs keep possession.
Tigers are really hitting out there today. They've caused TCU to cough the ball up several times, especially on those kickoff and punt returns.
No kidding. Their defense has been very, very aggressive. The Horned Frogs have been unable to capitalize on several opportunities. Look at some of the Tiger fans here for the season opener, 1990. And they can look forward to some exciting football as Bob Stull tries to restore the roar. Intercepted. Tom Reiner. What a second half he has had. The linebacker, Tom Reiner, an overachiever. He started 5 games last year In the first half, he had an ankle injury. He has come back with a taped ankle in the second half and has played brilliantly.
Roller drops back in the pocket. He has time to throw, but he just forces this ball in and pretty much throws it directly to Reiner.
And so the Tiger offense back on the field. Last year, it was just the opposite. The defense spent all their time on the field. But the Tiger offense spending most of the afternoon working the ball. They're going from our left to our right. Tom Reiner. Great big play today.
Limping on the sideline just a little bit, but that's not going to keep him out of this game. He's hyped.
Keeper, good catch. Tim Bruton gets out of bounds.
It's a nice pass by Keeper. He did put something on that one. That one did not float out there.
Well, the Tigers now on the move in TCU territory. They're inside the 35-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 2, 1:26 to go, third quarter. Tigers leading TCU 12-0. Two backs. Right up the middle they go. They get to about the 30-yard line. Mark Jackson, number 32, on the run. Jackson has a strained knee, and they didn't think he'd get much playing time today. He's out of Kirkwood, Missouri, 5'9", 175 pounds.
Mike, I wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Wacker come out in the next drive and bring his option quarterback in and try to loosen things up a little bit. Right now, the Missouri Tigers defense is sitting there playing TCU's pass very well.
Keeper, the give to Sean Moore, and Sean Moore gets to the 27-yard line. Mark Jackson, number 32, we talked about him a moment ago. He is a freshman, and he is another future star for these Missouri Tigers. Michael Jones back into the game for the Tigers, number 40. Jackson will come out. 2nd and 7. The ball on the 27. Tigers leading it 12-0.
Ideal down for a pass.
In motion, Lindsey Collins. They come this way to Leach, and he's going nowhere. Skip Leach. Stopped by Brad Smith, number 98. That's a little screen they like to work, and Leach will cut diagonally across the field, hopefully for more yardage, but that time it was plugged up.
I meant a pass downfield.
You said pass, and they passed.
They passed, really. It was an ideal shot to take ideal chance to take a shot down the middle the way TCU was playing at the time.
That'll be it for the third quarter of play. The Missouri Tigers on the march, and they lead the TCU Horned Frogs by the score of 12-0. 1 quarter to play. We'll be back with more after this. Missouri has made a couple mistakes today, but they've recovered nicely. Mark Plunkett here, a little earlier in the second half, in trouble, but watch him get out of it.
A great athletic move. He drops the ball down just like a rugby player would if he was down Australia-style football, and gets a great kickoff, considering he may have a second career once his playing days are over here at Missouri.
There's a look at the game summary. Some of the numbers. Missouri obviously dominating in total yards. And look at those passing numbers. The triple shoot not working too well for the Horned Frogs, although they've stayed on the ground most of the day.
Coach Stahl has to be pleased with that total yardage, 333 yards after only 3 quarters of football. He would like to have a few more points on the board, I know, but he has to be pleased with the way his Missouri Tigers are playing in their first outing here in 1990.
3rd and 7 as we begin the fourth quarter of play. The Tigers lead TCU 12-0. A passing situation for the Tigers. And Kiefer drops back. Looks for Jones. Jones is short of the first down. Had a knee down. Calvin Jones tied him up. And now the crowd once again roaring for Bob Stoll to go for it. He's about a yard and maybe a yard and a half short of the first down.
He's got to go for it, Mike. Where's Mario? Bring in Mario. There's Mario. Crowd goes wild. They want to see it.
Bob Stoll making some points with the Missouri fans today. In the first half, in a similar situation, they gave the ball to number 97, Mario Johnson, the big defensive tackle, and he went over for the first down. They've got to clear out some holes for Mario, or he'll clear them out himself. There he goes, and I don't think so. He's still trying for it, and I think they stopped him.
They did stop him this time. This time, Coach Stahl had the big tailback in the I set, 7 yards from the line of scrimmage. Here he goes. He gets it moving. Look at that. That's pretty good there. He holds the ball. There was penetration on TCU's part, which really stopped Mario from getting all his full stride going, but you have to give him credit for trying.
Did you see him hurdle over there?
I saw him hurdle.
The Olympics.
The poor kid was hoping that he did miss it.
Well, Missouri gives the ball up. TCU will now work the offense, and they've got some work to do. They trail by the score of 12-0. The Missouri defense has been outstanding so far today. Let's see if the Horned Frogs start to put it up in the air. No, they give it to Modkins. And Kellen, frankly, as George Hunt makes the tackle, I don't get it. Let's go down to Art Holliday on the field.
Okay, thank you very much, Mike. Your comment about the performance of the Mizzou defense is very timely. I just had a brief word with Sharon Washington, one of the Tiger DBs. He said this is something the Tigers needed. They thought they had a good defense, but they needed to go out on the field and prove it to themselves. So far, they have done that, and they are 13 minutes and 37 seconds away from a shutout. Back to you, Mike.
Okay, thank you, Art. Leon Clay, the sophomore quarterback who can run a little bit into the game. And he's throwing long, looking for a man, and that was nowhere near him. Sharon Washington on the play. The intended receiver was Toby Morey, number 23 in white.
Well, we talked about it earlier that Coach Wacker was going to have to do something to get his offense moving, and we predicted he would bring in his sophomore quarterback, Leon Clay, and he has done that. Now we're in this third down and long situation. We're going to see the option probably to the wide side of the field.
The Horned Frogs trailing 12-0, trying to get some offense going against this very aggressive Missouri defense today.
Well, they have no...
Go ahead.
They have no backs in the backfield, so much for the option call.
And 5 defensive backs in for Missouri. Leon Clay over the middle. Gets his tight end, Kelly Blackwell. Regenberg knocks the ball loose, and it looks like the Tigers have recovered the fumble. No, I thought Maurice Benson had it. Some quick work there by one of the offensive receivers for TCU. It looks like Michael Jackson recovered the fumble for TCU.
Once again, watch the tight end line, the inside part of your screen. It's a great move on the linebacker on the inside to go arm over and get inside where there's nobody. And he just gets the ball up the field, but the linebacker comes back and knocks the ball loose. Keep the ball in front of you, not to the outside part of your body. And let TCU receiver falls on the ball for TCU's big play down the middle, third down conversion.
So a big gainer for Texas Christian. 1st and 10 in Missouri territory on the 49-yard line. Leon Clay, the sophomore quarterback, goes over the middle. He's got Michael Jackson, who just recovered that fumble, and they're inside the 30-yard line. So Matt Vogler was the quarterback throughout the afternoon. A week ago, Clay was the starter, and Vogler came in relief. Just the opposite today.
Some players are better coming off the bench. I think Coach Wacker likes what he sees in Leon Clay coming off the bench so far. He's had some success in running the third down option play for the first down, and now a couple of completed passes will get the young guy going.
We're at Faroe Field in Columbia, Missouri. Kellen Winslow, along with yours truly, Mike Bush, Art Holliday, and Brian Neuter are on the sidelines. Missouri leading TCU 12-0. That was just a gain of 20 on the pass from Leon Clay to Michael Jackson. Clay, 6'1", 205. He wears number 12. Pretty good runner. There's the quarterback sneak. And that goes for a gain of 3. Mike Regenberg in on the tackle. Clay is out of Gladewater, Texas.
He's going without a huddle here, Mike. They're trying to keep Missouri's specialty people off the field here. Once again, a spread out offensive formation. Look at the Missouri secondary. They're kind of open there. He's going to try to exploit that pretty soon. There it is.
There's Jackson again. Across the 15-yard line, Regenberg whirls him down. But another big gainer and another first down for the Frogs. Again, no huddle.
Coach Wacker, once again, is trying to take advantage of the fact that he's got a mismatch there. He's going to try to go to Jackson, who's being played by a linebacker. Jackson has the speed. He's going to try to hit him a couple of more times and spread the rest out. One-on-one basketball, what it boils down to.
Clay on the run to the near side. Looks to the end zone. And that ball was underthrown. Stephen Shipley, the sure-handed receiver, number 87 for TCU, was on the ground. Sharon Washington covering him.
Shipley doesn't slip and fall down. That's 6 points for the TCU Horned Frogs.
This OmniTurf has definitely been slippery today. Let's look at the numbers for Leon Clay. 2 of 5 for 61 yards. Trying to rally the Horned Frogs. They trail 12-0. 12:33 to go in the game.
The danger of a Leon Clay in this situation, so close to the goal line, he drops back, he spreads the receivers out. It's not open, he pulls it down, he runs with it. Great running ability, get the ball in the end zone.
2nd and 10. Clay looking for a man. Touchdown, TCU. Cedric Jackson, the slot back, makes the catch. And TCU is on the board.
Finally, Coach Riker got what he wanted, that mismatch. A slot back against a linebacker, one-on-one, outside wide. Leon Clay had a nice perfect pass into the corner of the end zone. They teach the quarterbacks, throw the ball to the corner where the flag is. A little mix-up play here, almost a pick, which is illegal, but we won't call it that because nobody got rushing to each other. But he throws the ball back into the corner of the end zone.
It's the first touchdown for TCU this year. And the extra point is gone. As TCU scores their first touchdown of the 1990 season, Leon Clay to Cedric Jackson. And they'll kick it off. Trailing by the score of 12-7, Troy Beacon, number 24, will do the kicking. Not very long on this one. Skip Leach comes up to get it. Gets to about the 23-yard line for Missouri, and they'll work from there.
Should have been a flag on that play for a late hit by the TCU player who hit Skip Leach on the way out of bounds.
Let's look at the touchdown. Just before the break, Leon Clay coming into the game. He's the backup quarterback today, and he finds Cedric Jackson on a nice pass.
Throws off balance, a nice arm on it. He gets a lot of oomph on the ball there, but a great play, a great catch by Cedric Jackson. Once again, TCU went without a huddle. Missouri was not able to get their specialty people in the game. It should have been a fifth defensive back covering him. Instead, it was a linebacker.
There's a look at the scoring drive. Missouri back the other way, and Tim Bruton makes the catch at about the 29-yard line. So Missouri has some work to do now, because if TCU gets the ball back, they can win it with a touchdown. Remember, earlier in the game, and this may come back to haunt the Tigers, they missed 2 extra point conversions. They missed a kick on a bad snap. Then they tried for 2 and a drop pass. Spoiled that. Kiefer is the quarterback. They give to Jones. They try to eat up some time, and Jones is across the 30-yard line.
This is really no time for the Tigers to get conservative. They've got to go down. They've got to score to take the threat out of the game. As you can see, the coaches there from TCU trying to get their players up and trying to get them going.
The Horned Frogs coming into this game with a record of 0-1. They lost last week to Washington State 21-3. Missouri scores coming on Kent Kiefer to Lindsey Collins passes, both over 60 yards in the first half. Kiefer drops. He looks to the sideline, and it looks like Missouri has the first down. Damon Mays made the catch. First down for Missouri.
That is a dangerous pass. If any of the defensive backs read that a second earlier or a tenth of a second earlier, they're going to make that break and pick off that little floating ball out there. It's going to be a waltz into the end zone.
It's 1st and 10 now for the Tigers. 11.5 minutes to go in the game. Tigers lead TCU 12-7. Lindsey Collins and Damon Mays are split this way. Michael Jones in the backfield. Kiefer again. Up top. Goes to the tight end, Tim Bruton. Kellen likes that.
Throw it to the tight end.
He gets to the 43-yard line. Tim Bruton.
Is Bruton in the right formation with the 2 outside receivers outside of him? He simply pushes upfield about 3 or 4 steps and breaks to the outside away from the linebacker here. Probably should have broke this tackle as a safety, but who's to say?
You were known to break a couple. 6'4", 247 pounds. He knows a little bit about TCU coming from the Texas area. Running play. Jones. Make that Cahill, and he gets to the 44-yard line.
This is the type of situation Coach Stahl wants to be in. 3rd and very short. We may see Mario. No, we don't. We're going to stay with our regular formation here.
Into the game, Sean Moore and David Frisch, the tight end. They'll work 2 tight ends on the 3rd and short.
Wing formation, eye back, hands off to the fullback. He's going to be short.
He did not get the first down. Michael Jones tried to go up the middle. He did not get the first down. And so it looks like the Tigers will have to punt the ball. They can't really take too many chances up by less than a touchdown.
This is what the head coach gets paid for, decisions just like this.
And the punting team comes onto the field for the Tigers. Number 35, Mark Plunkett, will do the punting. Let's go down on the field to Art Holliday. Art.
Mike, thank you very much. I just heard Kellen Winslow saying, throw to the tight end, throw to the tight end. Well, Kellen, you were about to get passed on the Missouri tight end career receiving list. Tim Bruton's got 4 catches today, 2 more. He moves into 3rd place all time on the tight end career list here at Mizzou. So you're about to drop down, Kellen, even if they do throw to the tight end, as you advised. Back to Mike and Kellen.
A good tackle on the part of the Missouri special teams. Number 30, Mike Schlepp, who's also a fullback, did a good job. And so TCU has the ball on offense with a chance to take the lead. And well, now we'll see what the Missouri defense can do. They've been brilliant all day, allowing TCU only 7 points. They knocked Motkins out of bounds for virtually no gain. He might have gained a yard or 2. Tom Reiner in on the tackle. I'm wondering, maybe, Kellen, you want to suit up now so you can get your records back. Tim Bruton about to break one of your records.
Well, so hopefully he will break it, and he'll be the one being chased from now on and not me. Tim Bruton is a great talent. He's going to be an excellent talent in the National Football League after his senior year here in Missouri, and I wish him only the best. He can break all the records I ever enrolled.
2nd and 8, 9:47 to go in the game. Missouri leading TCU 12-7. Leon Clay, the quarterback. And once again, the Missouri defense comes through. George Hunt, Rick Lyle, you've heard those names all day long, and they're in on the tackle. And a loss of 1 or 2 yards. It looks like about 1.5 yards.
Penetration here. This is going to be a fake drop back, or maybe it was going to be a rollout. Never got a chance to because of the penetration by slanting George Hunt down the line of scrimmage. Penetration kills everything.
So it's 3rd and long for TCU. Big play here for Missouri defensively. Clay to put it up. He's got some time. A bad pass. He was looking for Cedric Jackson. And now TCU will have to punt the ball. There's still plenty of time left. But what a job by this Missouri defense. They have come through again.
That time, Mike, Missouri was able to get their 5th defensive back into the game. And I'm not sure if Leon Clay picked that up. Cedric Jackson was being covered by a defensive back that time. He probably did not want to go that way.
Kevin Quartersman to punt for TCU. His long punt, 43 yards. Gets this one up. That's New Sali on the return. He doesn't like calling fair catches. He gets to the 40, to the 30, and to the outside. Touchdown, Tigers!
No flags on the play. It's going to stand.
That's number 9, New Sali, N-I-U-S-A-L-E. He was the Southern California Junior College Player of the Decade in the 1980s. He is one of the most aggressive return men Bob Stoll has ever seen. The coach was talking about him yesterday, and you saw why he was talking about him right there. 52-yard return for New Sali, and the Tigers have taken the lead 18-7. Jeff Jackie on for the extra point. Sali on the hold, and they get one. Their first extra point conversion of the day, and the Tigers now lead TCU 19-7. With 8:54 to go in the game, the Tigers in control. This is the Mizzou Sports Network. There's a look at your score. Missouri on top of TCU 19-7. You know, Coach Bob Stoll emphasizes his special teams. They're a very important part of this Missouri football team. It has been a sore spot for TCU, and moments ago, you saw the Tigers special teams coming through. We'll show you a look at the touchdown right after the kickoff. Mark Plunkett kicking off to Anthony Hickman or Toby Morey. This is Morey at the 5-yard line. He takes it up the gut. He stopped at about the 25-yard line and thrown back to the 27-yard line. TCU just moments ago had an opportunity to tie the game or go ahead, and Missouri now has the big lead. Let's look at the touchdown.
Mike, New Salih's junior college coach called him the best return man he's ever seen or ever had. Here you see why. He gets the ball, makes a nice catch, breaks a tackle right at the initial point, and then is off to the races. A lot of people, when he came out of JUCO, questioned his speed. There was no question about it right then and there.
Having a little technical difficulties, but we'll take a look at that again in a few moments. 8:47 to go in the game, and the Horned Frogs go to work. Over the middle, drop pass. Not a very good pass by Leon Clay. Toby Morey, the intended receiver, couldn't hang on.
Let's take another look at this right here. Even with the gloves on, he catches the ball. A nice block there to get the defender off of him. He cuts back through the grain here. Slices, gets another good block there. A nice move. And, of course, the last man, the kicker, who really on athletes, falls down. And he outruns him to the end zone.
2nd down and 10 for TCU. Clay drops back. Looks for somebody. Good coverage by the Missouri defense. He gets to the 30, now to the 35-yard line, and he is gang tackled at the 36.
I tell you, one problem with young wide receivers is that when the quarterback starts to scramble, they're not exactly sure what to do. What should happen is that they should break deep. One receiver should start working back towards the quarterback, normally the closest one to him, and the other one should start working deep to go for the big play.
Time is becoming a factor. 19-7, Missouri leading. 8:27, clock is running to play in the game. 1st and 10, Clay. Again, looking for somebody, and he overthrows Kelly Blackwell, who looks very frustrated. That was a problem last week for TCU. They get their man open, and their quarterbacks can't find the receivers.
We'll give credit to the Missouri Tigers front defensive line, that they put pressure on Leon Clay, forces him to scramble, and doesn't get a clear look at the receiver. Blackwell, the tight end, was open for quite some time, and even when the ball did get there, he was still wide open.
2nd down and 10. Clay looks to the sideline. A good catch by Richard Woodley. He steps out of bounds. Woodley, a 5'8", 166-pound freshman.
Just to make one comment about Clay's delivery here as a quarterback, he has a tendency to release the ball entirely too high. I'm sure that's something the coaches have worked on with him, but his passes are seeming to sell on him.
A gain of 4, 3rd and 6 on the 41. Clay has his tight end across the 50-yard line.
It's Shipley.
That's Stephen Shipley, you're right. Stephen Shipley, the big wide receiver, number 87. And he gets the big 1st down for TCU, a very big gainer for TCU, and an important one at that, Kellen.
If there's one thing that TCU has not done today, besides the special teams not playing very well, is they haven't got the ball in Shipley's hands. He's great talent. He has the ability to break the big plays, as you saw there on that run, and the coaching staff should do more to get the ball into that young man's hands.
A gain of 14. Last week he had 6 catches for 51 yards. He's their best receiver, and that's his first catch today. That goes to the tight end. That's Blackwell. He's across the 35-yard line. And now TCU once again moving the ball in between the 20-yard lines. We'll see if they can head for the end zone. They're working the no-huddle offense. Let's go down to Art Holliday on the sidelines. Art.
Well, Mike, a footnote to that touchdown run by Tcu Salih. If you think 8 is enough, try 16. He's got 16 family members in his family. His parents, 6 brothers, 5 adopted brothers and sisters, an aunt, and 2 great aunts that live in their Carson, California home. But we just got a quick word with Tcu Salih on that touchdown run, and he said it was the blocking that set it up. He made a little drag move with his leg, broke into the clear, the blocking was there, and after that it was 6 points. Back to you, Mike and Kellen.
There's a look at number 9, Tcu Salih. 5'9", 190-pound junior. I mentioned the defensive player of the decade in Southern California. And you'll want to see him the rest of this season. He's very exciting. And if you want more information on tickets, you can write the Athletic Ticket Office, Post Office Box 675, Columbia, 65205. You want to charge tickets? That's 1-800-CAT-PAWS. And you can use your MasterCard or Visa. Next week, Utah State. Then Arizona State on September the 29th. The rest of the home schedule on October 6th, you have Colorado, Kansas State on October 20th, and then Oklahoma in November. Missouri has just called a timeout. They have 2 timeouts left. TCU still with their full complement of 3. 7:44 to go in the game. Tigers lead 19-7. Horned Frogs driving. They're in Missouri territory. They're on the 34-yard line. Leon Clay, the quarterback. He's got Michael Jackson, and Jackson runs out of bounds. Jackson has been very impressive here in the second half. Maurice Benson chased him out.
Nice drop back by Leon Clay that time. A pure, simple drop back, and here's the receiver out, makes a nice move on the defensive back, stops him in his tracks and keeps him in his back pedal, and just turns upfield a little option churn-out play.
And he gets out of bounds to stop the clock. 7:38 to go. Clay wanted to go for the long one, and there is nobody there. He threw it in the end zone. Curtis Montkins was his intended receiver, but Montkins was at least 20 yards away from that ball.
Just a broken pattern. The receiver read it one way, the quarterback read it another.
7:34 to go. 4th quarter. Tigers on top. No back offense now for TCU. Over the middle they go to Blackwell. He breaks a tackle, tries to break another. He's down to the 11-yard line, and that's a first down for the Horned Frogs.
You got to love this kid Blackwell. He just drifts over the middle. He finds open spot and sits there on this play, and Leon Clay patiently has the time to do it also. Hits Blackwell. He was open from the time he left the line of scrimmage.
Again, no huddle for TCU. Clay looks in to get the play. 5 receivers in for TCU. Clay again. One of his men fell down. Now he throws it out of the end zone. That stops the clock. The intended receiver was Stephen Shipley, but he threw it way over his head, and Shipley did not have much room in the left corner. Clay 8 of 13. He's thrown the ball for 116 yards. We're on the 11-yard line. 2nd down and 10.
Mike, let's see on this pass play, if Clay doesn't get his open man, if he pulls it down and runs it. The middle of the field is wide open for him to do that.
That's Woodley on the catch. He's inside the 5-yard line. Jermaine Wilkins made the tackle, but TCU in a position now to score. They're on the 2.5-yard line.
TCU scores here. We still have a ball game. Plenty of time left. 6 minutes and 45 seconds left to go. TCU down on the 3-yard line.
The clock is running. The Horned Frogs did not score in the first half. Leon Clay came in the 4th quarter, had a touchdown pass to Cedric Jackson. That is the only Horned Frog score of the day. 3-back set.
Uh-oh.
Good coverage by Missouri. Clay has nobody to throw to. He's still free, though. And on the other side, he hits Cedric Jackson one more time. Touchdown, TCU.
Leon Clay's going to watch this film. He's going to wish he would have run the ball. When he rolled out of that pocket, he could have walked into the end zone by himself untouched, but decides to go the difficult route. Watch this. Right now, Missouri Tigers are completely full, looking for the option play to the short side of the field. But he sits there and he waits, almost takes a major loss, a face pass penalty there, but didn't get called. But then turns around with athletic ability, makes a great play, and who wants it? Any TCU player could have caught it.
Gerald Fletcher had a chance to get him, but Clay squirmed out of it, and then he hit Cedric Jackson. Jackson's 2nd touchdown of the game. The extra point is good, and Missouri now leads TCU 19-14, and there's still an opportunity for TCU to come back in this game. 6:18 to go in the game. Missouri will get the ball again.
Still plenty of time. No reason right now for TCU to try any type of onside kick or any squib kick or whatever. They should come out and try to kick the ball as deep as they possibly can, get Missouri in bad field position. 1, 2, 3, punt and out. And then for Leon Clay, who seemed to have found his own self in the second half here, actually in the 4th quarter, to give him a chance to put TCU on top.
Now, if you're Missouri, do you stick to your game, 50% pass, 50% run, or do you stay on the ground to try to eat up the clock?
Well, I think you want to stay on the ground as much as possible here. You've got a 5-point lead in the last 6 minutes left to go in the game. And you want to just take it down the field as slowly as possible. Pass when you have to, but safe, conservative passes. No more of this long across the field stuff floating.
They covered a lot of ground in a short period of time, 9 plays in 2.5 minutes, and so the Horned Frogs are still in a position where they can win this game. They'll kick it off. Jason Oliver and Kenneth Dunn are back deep. Make that Oliver and Skip Leach. Back deep for Missouri. That's Oliver at the 10-yard line. Takes it to the 20-yard line before he's plugged up, and Missouri will work from there. 19-14, the Tigers on top. 6:11 to play in the game. And their offense has some work to do. They don't want to give up the ball and allow TCU another opportunity. The last 2 times, 2 of the last 3 times TCU has had the ball, they've scored.
Well, Mike, we just saw another part of the great Missouri tradition, maybe not 100 years old, hopefully not, the Golden Girls and the Missouri Marching Band over on the south end part of the stadium entertaining the folks today.
They give to the fullback Jones. He leaps out to the 24-yard line, a gain of about 4 yards.
You can best believe that Coach Stahl's coaching staff gave instructions to all people who handle the ball, 2 hands on the football. Get the yardage you can, stay in bounds, and do not fumble.
Well, the story of the first half was defense. Missouri went to the halftime locker room leading 12-0. Right now, it is 19-14 Tigers. Keeper, play action. He's got a man, David Frisch, knocked out of bounds. Frisch, the sophomore tight end from House Springs, Missouri, has all the tools to be a future star on this Missouri Tiger football team.
You have to like Frisch. I like the way he runs, the way he handles himself out there. Keeper 24-30 today for 298 yards.
1 interception, but it didn't hurt. I guess it did hurt because they were in
yeah,
position to score, but TCU did not score off the interception. Keeper, short drop. Again, he hits Frisch. But Frisch is handled at about the line of scrimmage. LaVoyle Crump on the tackle.
Keep an eye on that play, Mike. We're going to see that play again during this drive as Coach Stahl tries to do ball control down the field. And one thing good about a pass is that receivers run downfield. The clock doesn't start till, well, the 30 seconds doesn't start till they get back, and you can control the ball. As much as San Francisco, Washington tries to do in the National Football League, control the ball as it goes down the field, through the pass, and all out through the run.
Ball's on the 34-yard line, 2nd down and 9. Keeper to throw. This way to Jones. He's across the 40. He does not have the first down. So that'll set up a 3rd down situation for the Tigers. 3rd and short. 4 minutes and 37 seconds to play. The clock is still running. The Tiger offense doing a good job of eating up some time. Now they've got to get the first down. Kiefer has gone over 300 yards passing, now has 306 yards throwing in Bob Stahl's offense.
Take a look at this formation. We talked about that simple dump to the tight end earlier. We're in the same formation for possibly having it also.
Big play for the TCU defense. Keeper goes way out to Damon Mays. He breaks a couple of tackles, gets free, gets across midfield to about the 43-yard line. A big play for the Tigers.
Excuse me, Mike, while I get my heart back out of my throat. We just talked about that play, that long pass, that drifter across the field. This is a gutsy, dangerous pass. Watch how this ball floats out there. It's in the air an awful long time. Defensive backs get kind of close there, but not close enough for an interception. Damon Mays makes a miss, gets a big first down. More importantly, he stays in bounds and keeps that clock running.
A gain of 11 yards. A big play by the roommates, Kent Keeper and Damon Mays. Victor Bailey into the game. He split out to the right side. Keeper on the blitz gets the handoff up to Jones, and Jones loses about 1.5 yards. Richard Booker in on the tackle. He had 11 tackles last week against Washington State.
Well, this time at least Jones did not try to turn around and make a bad play worse or try to make a big play out of a bad play. He decided to take his loss right there and stay in bounds.
Loss of 2.
New Salih's punt return for a touchdown was the first time that has happened for Missouri since way back in 1978 when Bill Whitaker did it against Illinois. Right now, that's the difference in this game. Missouri leading TCU 19-14, 3 minutes to go in the game. 2nd and 12. The ball's on the 47-yard line. And the flags are thrown. That wasn't too much time. There's still 2 seconds on the time clock.
There seemed to be some disarray there with keeper.
Dead ball. Ball start on the offense.
Illegal procedure.
Between keeper and his receivers, there seemed to be a mix-up of where exactly he wanted them to go. As you saw Michael Jones at the last second break out of the the tailback position, go into a slot position, or wing position is known in some offenses. And then keeper looked directly to the left, and he didn't care about the right. Keeper's 13th consecutive completion, by the way. He seems to be hot, even with those drifters way out wide.
That make you very nervous.
They make me very nervous, especially on a college field where the hash marks are a lot wider.
2nd down and 17. The ball is on Missouri's 48-yard line. Keeper to throw. Victor Bailey. He's the transfer out of UTEP. He's knocked out of bounds. And about the 42-yard line.
You got to love Victor
Make that
Bailey.
the 38-yard line.
He transferred up here from UTEP when Coach Stahl and his staff came up, and he's an excellent talent. He's one of the receivers that Missouri has that adds a lot of depth to that core.
Out of Fort Worth, Texas, just a sophomore, recruited by Bob Stull to go to the University of Texas, El Paso. That was a gain of 12. So it's 3rd and 5. The ball on the 39-yard line. Keeper. Intercepted. That's Tony Rand, and he gets near midfield. Keeper's receiver fell down. I think that was the tight end, Linthicum, who fell down, and Tony Rand was there to pick it off. And now TCU has the ball and a chance to take the lead. Kent Keeper took a hard hit on that play as well. Shaking it off on the sidelines. Here it is.
Well, I'll tell you, you have to question this call here. You have 1st down and drop back pass here. It's a very late hit. Very late hit to the leg, and Keeper falls down, also hits his head on the turf as he goes down. Another negative side of the OmniTurf.
Well, now we'll see what the Missouri defense can do. They were brilliant the first 3 quarters of the game. They have let up 14 points here in the 4th quarter. Play. And that was incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 for TCU.
One thing that happens out here in the OmniTurf is before the game they wet it down so it takes the slickness off it just a little bit. It's better traction when it's just a little bit damp. But now the field is dry, the sun has come out, and you see players slipping left and right. In the last interception, you saw Keeper's receiver slide down, and the defensive back picked it off.
Play. He's got a man over the middle. Tom Reiner in on the play. Kelly Blackwell with the catch. Blackwell has had quite an afternoon for TCU.
He must have 6 or 7 catches today already.
Big 3rd down play coming up here. 2 minutes. Play trips. And that was dropped by Cedric Dickens. Play tripped. As he was fading back, he went to Dickens. It was right in his hands, and he dropped the ball.
Let's see Clay drop back here once again on his OmniTurf. He steps. Oops. Catches. Look, he might have caught his foot there. Now the OmniTurf without one of his offensive linemen. Throws a strike directly to the receiver, who might have taken his eyes off him for a second looking for a place to run. But she's never hit the receiver right in the numbers. They're not used to it.
4th down and 4 from the 46. Big play. Clay goes to Shipley. 1st down. Stephen Shipley, who is their top receiver. Only his 2nd catch today. Mike Jadlow on the stop, and TCU is moving the ball.
I tell you, you have to like this Shipley guy. He's very consistent, and he has sure hands. And that alone will keep you in college football playing every week, and maybe it'll give you a shot at professional football.
19-14. Missouri trying to hang on. 1:48 to go. Jermaine Wilkins was injured on that play, number 28. He comes out of the game. Missouri, 3 timeouts. The Horned Frogs still have 2 timeouts left. 1:45 to play in the game. Clay dropping back. 1st down. Nearly picked off. incomplete pass.
Oh, that was
Jason
close.
Oliver with a good play.
That was close. The umpire referee easily could have called pass interference as the defensive back came up, put his hand on the receiver's back, but reached around. Didn't go through the receiver, but just kind of laid his hand on him. It could have been a ticky-tack call for pass interference.
Jason Oliver was a tailback. Now he is playing cornerback. Number 22. They might try to exploit him. Leon Clay with the quarterback sneak. He gets to the 20-yard line before he's tackled there. Another first down for TCU. Mike Jadlow and Leon Fisher made the tackle and saved the touchdown.
We've talked about it all day, the fact that Missouri Tigers are leaving the center uncovered. It's an automatic between the center and the quarterback. If he sees it, he taps the center on the inside part of his thigh. The center gives him the ball. He just steps around and up through the hole. Once again, there's no middle linebacker. Defensive backs in the game.
Clay to pass. It's over the middle. He's got Shipley again. Very close to the first down. And TCU wants another no-huddle play.
TCU should really take a timeout here pretty soon and regroup themselves and get close down here. They're playing very emotional football. You don't want to make a mistake down here. You have a chance to win it.
They're moving the change because it was a first down by Shipley. So it is first and goal now.
Once again,
for the Horned Frogs.
Watch Leon Clay. There's no inside linebacker. We're going to see a play up the middle here.
That's Shipley. Touchdown, TCU. Leon Clay with the perfect pass to his main man, number 87, Stephen Shipley, the 6'4", 250-pound sophomore, who was virtually non-existent throughout most of this game, but has come alive here in the fourth quarter. They've sort of used him as a secret weapon. And so now Missouri trails 20-19.
He has been a weapon. He's been a successful weapon here in the second half. Shipley's come out, as we mentioned earlier. TCU and Coach Wacker had to get the ball into Shipley's hand. That's what Leon Gray did on that drive.
There is a minute and 3 seconds to play. Missouri has all their timeouts. 20-19. 2 blown extra points have been the real story for the Tigers.
It certainly has. Right now, this would be a tie ball game if they convert here on the extra point. If we had those 2 extra points earlier, but once again, it's early in the year, and you're going to have those type of mistakes.
Here's a look at the touchdown. A fine pass from Clay to Shipley.
Simple 3-step drop time pattern. He looked to his left. He didn't care about anybody else. Throws the ball up and uses that Shipley's 6'4" height. He makes a great catch. Even wearing the gloves, he made a good catch in the end zone to put TCU Horned Frogs on top.
And TCU is going to go for the 2-point conversion. If they score, then the best Missouri can do with a field goal is tie the game. If they don't score, Missouri can win it with a field goal. Missouri, we checked the timeouts. Missouri has only 2 left. Leon Clay going for the 2-point conversion. It'll be a pass play. Blackwell couldn't quite get there. And so all Missouri needs is all they need to do is march downfield and put Jeff Jackie in a situation where they can go for a field goal to possibly win the game with just over a minute to play and 2 timeouts left. TCU with 3 fourth-quarter touchdowns after a brilliant defensive performance for the first 3 quarters on the part of the Tigers. The Horned Frogs lead it 20-19. And the fans, Kellen, I think are in shock.
I think they're in shock, but you have to admit they've enjoyed themselves today. They've been entertained by an exciting Missouri offensive show in the first half, a sound defensive performance in the first 3 quarters. But now they're kind of shocked and on their heels right now because TCU has come out. And you have to give Coach Wacker credit for making that substitution with Leon Gray and taking Vogler out when he did.
1 minute and 3 seconds to play. New Salih and Skip Leach are the kickoff return men for Missouri. Trey Beacon will kick it off for TCU.
Interesting call here for the TCU staff on what to do. Do you drive the ball down the middle and hope that the new Salih doesn't get his hands on it because he's hurt you already? Or do you try to drive it out and put them on the 20? Be interesting to see what he does here.
Trey Beacon goes down the middle.
Kind of a squiver.
Salih at the 10, the 20, up the middle across to the 30, and he's plugged up there at the 30-yard line.
TCU said it was a fumble.
There is a fumble. There is a fumble.
The officials
and it
agree.
belongs to the Horned Frogs. Oh, brother.
Well, it looks like New Salih the ball was taken from him on his way down when that hit was made by the coverage man. He grabbed the ball just at that time. Let's take a look here. There he is running, cutting back to his left, looking for the hole. He finds a hole here temporarily, but it's closed as soon as he breaks through. Nice camera action here, and right there, let's see what happens as the defensive man comes in, and right there the ball is stripped from him before he hits the ground. There it goes, and TCU falls directly on it.
Clint Stevenson recovered the ball for TCU. Missouri dominated this game for 3 quarters. And with 53 seconds to go in the game, as the fans head for the exits, the Tigers trail TCU 20-19. Timeout called, TCU. Well, this will be a disappointing loss for the Missouri Tigers unless they can pull off some sort of miracle, Kellen, but there have been some good things in this game.
There has been. You're not going to see TCU do too many things fancy with this ball. They may just take it and fall on it, cause Missouri to use their 2 timeouts they do have. Or, you may see the first play run off tackle to see if they get any yardage at all. But right now, with 53 seconds left to go, Missouri has 2 timeouts. TCU has 4 downs. You run into the entire gambit on all the things that can happen. But I think you'll see TCU run the ball once. If they're successful, Missouri will call a timeout. Even if they're not successful, Missouri will call a timeout. But they will try to keep the clock going as much as they possibly can.
Let's take a look at the winning touchdown. Leon Clay, the 4th quarter comeback kid to Stephen Shipley, number 87. Matt Vogler, number 14, started this game at quarterback for TCU. After Leon Clay had a disappointing game last week against Washington State, Clay started last week. Clay came on in the 4th quarter, and 3 touchdown passes has the TCU Horned Frogs on top of Missouri, 20-19, less than a minute to play.
A lot of things you can do with a 6'4" wide receiver with the ability of a Shipley, and that's one of them.
Clay keeps the ball. Gains about 1 yard. Mike Riggenberg on the stop. And Missouri calls a timeout. 44 seconds to go. Coach Bob Stoll hoping for some sort of miracle here. The Tigers scored in the first half on a Kent Kiefer to Lindsey Collins 68-yard touchdown reception. A little later on in the first half, it was Kiefer to Collins again. They connected for a 61-yard touchdown pass. And as they went to the locker room, Missouri led by the score of 12-0. Coach Jim Wacker had a conversation with his troops in the locker room. And here in the 4th quarter, behind the passing of sophomore quarterback Leon Clay, the Horned Frogs have taken the lead. 2 touchdown passes to Cedric Jackson, number 25. New Salih had a punt return for a touchdown for Missouri. And just moments ago, it was Stephen Shipley on the touchdown from Leon Clay, and that has TCU in front. Another pretty good gainer for TCU as they eat up some more of the clock, and another timeout for Missouri with 36 seconds to go. Clay, 17 of 22 for 177 yards and 3 touchdowns in basically just the 4th quarter of work.
Just in the 4th quarter, he was inserted with about 12.5 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter. A great move by Coach Wacker. As we mentioned earlier, he had to do something. Vogler was not getting the job done. Clay came in. He was a spark.
So it'll be 3rd and 3 now for TCU with 36 seconds to go. Missouri is out of timeouts. The fans heading for the exits. A couple of final words now for quarterback Leon Clay, and I wonder, Kellen, if he'll be starting next week.
It's kind of a hard call for Coach Wacker to make, you know, Mike. It really is.
I mean, what a job he did.
Now, he may be better coming off the bench. You have some players like that, like a Bobby Jones, who played in Philadelphia NBA, who are just better players coming off the bench. The fact that he is so young as a sophomore may have something to do with it, but I think he's going to be a force in the Southwestern Conference to deal with.
Here it is, 3rd and 3 for TCU. No timeouts left for Missouri. They'll just run out the clock. Leon Clay gets the first down, and that'll be it. Mike Riggenberg on the tackle. And the TCU Horned Frogs have sealed up a victory here in Columbia. Missouri going for their 5th straight season-opening victory. Now let's keep in mind that the Tigers won the first game of the year last year, and they finished with a record of 2-9. Perhaps a loss at the beginning of the year. You take a step backwards and then work your way forward.
Are you saying the logic behind that is now they'll be 9-2?
There's no logic behind that.
Well, you know, no matter what the outcome of today's game is, which I think is pretty apparent that Missouri's going to lose by 1 point here, is that the Tigers came out, they played well. They're a young ball club on defense that played well for over three quarters. Coach Stahl and the staff has to be impressed with that and encouraged by what they saw here today. Of course, Coach Wacker has to be encouraged with what he saw in his sophomore quarterback, Leon Gray, in the 4th quarter.
It is over here in Columbia. The 100th anniversary of Missouri Tiger football gets off to an inauspicious beginning as the TCU Horned Frogs defeat the Missouri Tigers by the score of 20-19. Well, if you look back at this game, you saw a Tiger team, Kellen, that pretty much dominated for 3 quarters, a defense that looked outstanding for 3 quarters. That was the big question mark coming into this game. Could their defense stop the run and shoot offense, the triple shoot offense of TCU? The executive producer of this Mizzou Sports Network telecast is Tom Gray. Today's telecast has been produced by Greg Logan and directed by Tom Williamson. The technical director has been Brian Holder. Our associate producer was Brad Noblet, and the associate director was John Leonard. As you read the long list of names who did such a great job of bringing you today's game, we would like to take the time to thank Director of Athletics at TCU, Frank Windiger, TCU Sports Information Director Glenn Stone and his staff, and head coach Jim Wacker and his coaching staff. We'd also like to thank Missouri Athletic Director Dick Tamburo, and a very special thanks to Assistant Athletic Director Joe Castiglione for all his help along the way. A big thank you to Missouri Sports Information Director Bob Brendel and his staff, and finally a special thanks to head coach Bob Stahl and his coaching staff for their help. After 2 games, TCU's record stands at 1-1. Missouri opens the season on a losing note. Final score, TCU 20, Missouri 19. For Kellen Winslow, Art Holliday, Brian Nooner, I'm Mike Bush. So long, everybody.